Hello, I'm FBX and welcome back to a live stream on the internet. Today I'm going to be doing the first, or really kind of the first part of a new part of a major project, because I have a lot of glass. And when I say a lot of glass, I mean about 55,000 blocks. That's going to come up important at some point in the future. But I'm working on a mega project which involves taking 55,000 blocks of glass, taking them from the overworld or from a former desert where they used to belong, and I'm going to be taking them over with me to the end. Because today we're going to be placing lots of glass, and I mean, you can see what I mean by lots. Oh, lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of glass over in the end. It's going to be a hopefully entertaining time, and even if it's not, it's podcast and Joe Toy Cat, so hopefully enjoy me placing lots of glass for lots of time. Like, we're talking, if this was an hour, that would be a very short stream. We're going to be going for some number of hours, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 1.3 hours, 2 hours, who even knows, but we'll go until my voice starts dying and I regret starting the stream. Sounds like a good time? Sounds like a good time to me. So yeah, we have 55,000 blocks of glass. We're gonna have to work out a way to move it there, but for now, let's just get into it and see how long it takes me to empty out. I left my shulker box, by the way. That was a pretty bad mistake to make. But yeah, we're gonna see how long this lasts me, and if we need more shulker boxes, we'll just bring them with me. But ideally, I try not to do things. So that was a pretty first mistake of the stream, and we're only about a minute in, so you know it's going to be a good one today. By the way, hi, hello, welcome to the live stream. Hope you're having a great time, and yeah, I personally am as well. So let's go back, let's pick this one up. I left it there to see who would remind me, and you've all disappointed me. No one reminded me, which is really your fault, not mine. Also, hey, I'm ready for the stream. Happy New Year, Toy Cat. Happy New Year. I was going to say happy 2019. Well, I was going to say 2018, then I corrected to 2019. So happy 2019, by the way. Pretty cool, right? I mean, like, it's a whole new year, whole new you. I can start making comments like, wow, it's been like a whole year since I live streamed Minecraft. Looking forward to doing this again. There's a lot of fun, a lot of fun, great things we can do. By the way, I hope I actually picked it up this time. Okay, I did. I was kind of scared in my head, like, did I? I'm not too sure. Happy New Year. I'm watching you at the dentist, says the heater box. That's actually quite cool. I didn't realize, like, I'm assuming the dentist waiting room. I'm assuming there's no TV in the office where it's like, hey, let's put on my boy Toy Cat. Don't want to miss a stream. By the way, Football Player 175 says, hey bro, I'm back. Welcome back to the live streams, Football Player 175. Also, this is a crazy super chat train already. Totally not a waste of time, and this is top tier. But tier is spelt wrong because your spelling is top tier, almost as top tier as this live stream. But no, thank you very much for the super chat. Trains to get things going. You know, I'm feeling like you're ready just based on that. So let's dive into this one. I'm also gonna real quick because the end is sometimes loud, sometimes not. So we'll kind of like hear it out by ear. Oh god, I looked at an enderman already. So it's this really good sign of things to come, as you can tell. So yeah, basically, let's explain the project to you from atop this stool right here. So as you can see, I have an end that looks like this. It's a nice looking end, but it's made up of different islands and it's a whole thing. It's a bit of a messy end. It needs some cleaning, but I feel like rather than just cleaning up, why not make it so much better than just slightly cleaned up? So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be covering every single block off the end, every single bit of it in glass. So I think that'll take some number of tens of thousands of my glass away, and then we'll work out sort of the rest after. But for today's stream, we're going to be coating the end in glass, including these towers. So only the towers which are actually the legit ones. So this one, for instance, we're going to coat it in some glass, just like this. And it should be a fun time. I've been busy, haven't done it in a while, says Phil Player. Yeah, it's been a while. I sometimes like, you know, like some people fade in, fade out. Some people are here every stream. You know, obviously got a preference for which one I like, but it's cool to see you here regardless, man. Also, so ready, bro. Thank you very much, both of you, for the $2 super chats and for the support of the stream. It's a cool thing to see, especially in, you know, this month of the year, am I right? But yeah, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna jump down, and I guess we'll just. Actually, maybe we should start placing the glass from up here. No, wait, best way to do this is probably to, oh gosh. I think the best way to start on this one is to place glass around it like this, like make a big old stack, and then see how we do this. So, are you having a great day, says Epic Plays 51? Yeah, my day's been going, really well today, actually. Okay, so yesterday I went to, if you don't know, we have a Wingstop in London now. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go there because I'm in the area anyway. And I got like, it was called like Atomic Habanero or something. It's like the hottest flavor they do. And I was like, you know what? No fast food place does really hot wings. And long story short, they did really hot wings and they burnt me a little bit. So what are your New Year's resolutions, says Vapid. This year actually I decided rather than going on a whole like set some fixed resolutions, I feel like my goal is to have a better year than I did before. Nice, smart, easy. Like, if I end 2019 I'm like, this year sucked, I'll have failed my resolution. If I end 2019 thinking this could be so much better, that'd be great. You're the way I found out about every update, says Alien Fox. Thank you so much for the Canadian 279 super chat. I think I missed another one, by the way, so I'll make sure I get it. We have, what's your new resolutions? Just woke up enjoying this, and you just found out about the stream. So, you're the way I found out about updates. Yeah, no, it's kind of weird, actually, to me. I was thinking about this today, because a lot of people just learned about 1.9 from my video yesterday, and it's kind of weird that Minecraft doesn't really promote its survival updates so much anymore. Like, you'd figure that's the thing they'd want to do the most. Like, yeah, hey, we make cool things all the time. But it seems as though that's not really the main part of what they do. And it's kind of strange to me that, like, you'd figure Minecraft would want to promote Minecraft the most, but they don't sometimes. Hey, Toy Cat says, Tangerine. Hey, Tangerine. Are you like a tangerine, but like a tangerine? What even would a tangerine be? I don't even understand any of these words right here. But yeah, what do you press to get more glass when you run out? Because I see you doing it, and I don't know how, says Chloe. As a quick little pro tip, so that was an old comment, but I saw it because I was reading the super chat. If you press up on the D-pad, so I'll show you, I'll just like cover this in glass, just like get a bunch of that placed. And then we ran out of glass, right? So, oh no, what are we gonna do? You press your pick block key. I picked it to up. It's actually not bound by default, so go to your controls. It's middle click on a mouse, and you can grab a whole new stack. It's a really, really convenient thing to do, in my opinion, so I do it, because I like convenience. Maybe I'm the crazy one. So, yeah, what we're going to do is probably start around here, actually. And this hole right here, I think, is unnatural. So we're going to cover it up, and we're going to see if that looks good. Again, I really don't know, like, if this is even a good idea. I just kind of, like, had the idea, and I was like, you know what? Why don't we cover our end in the thing? Also, a deformed orange, says Tangerine. He's a deformed orange. You know, I'll totally take that one. You know, we got deformed oranges watching the streams. And how about the rest of you? I said look it up, and it made my pick block up on the D-pad too. Yeah, if you have a controller, the block I recommend above all others is always up on the D-pad, because it's there right next to your stick, so you can like move and press it almost at the same time. Me at the dentist, Toy Cat is yes. Yeah, I feel like telling your dentist IBX Toy Cat is yes right before he puts things in your mouth is like a really good idea. Every dentist I've been like is like, oh, you watch IBX Toy Cat. Clearly, I need to give you a discount, assuming you pay for the dentist, which I think most people have to, right? Does Riptide work in lava? It doesn't actually. It probably should. Again, I only tested in beta, so I'd love to see if it changed since then. Peanut butter. I was really scared that was meant to be like a, you know, like the ice and then the wallow, then the comfy, but it's like, oh no, you're reading fast, and then like people trick you. I thought it'd be one of those, but it's like, oh no, that's just confusing. You know, I would like to quickly mention, before anything else, I have some serious things to talk about today too, but way more importantly, peanut butter is one of the most overused, overrated things in the world. It's really, really confusing to me, because, like, peanut butter is, you know, it's made from peanuts, I assume. Peanuts are quite good. They're one of the top 5 nuts, maybe. Whereas the Super Mario 64 stream, says Christian Ingmar Kospik. So usually, it's been a while since I've stuck to this, but on Tuesdays I stream, like, something else, and on Thursdays I do something Minecrafty. So I think what we'll probably end up doing is the Mario stream next Tuesday, maybe? That's my current, like, thoughts. We'll see if it works. But, yeah, you can see the point. You should turn on the beta textures. That might be a good way to make this more interesting, but again, we'll see how well it goes for the first 10 minutes or so, and then we'll see if we go insane and want to kill things. But yeah, peanuts are like the 5th best nuts. Why are we making a butter from them in the first place? Like, weird idea, like, are they really cheap somewhere? What's the deal with that? And then here's the thing, peanut butter is like, it's got the worst texture. Again, it's made from nuts, and like, nuts are already like, not the right thing for you all the time. It's made from nuts, it's a butter, but like, you know, if I think about something tasty, I don't think of like a butter, like, oh, you know what'd be really good? Chocolate butter? No, that sounds disgusting. That sounds like chocolate flavored butter. You know, it should be like peanut paste or something, but no. So it's misleading. Like, there are so many better nuts than the peanuts. Like, I don't like pistachios too much. By the way, I've got work. I'll watch you later if you're live, says Football Player. Yeah, this is one of those streams where I have no idea how long we'll be live, so maybe I will be live later. Or maybe I'll be dead. Yeah, you get it? The opposite of live is dead. That's the high quality Toy Cat humor you can get used to on this channel. But no, yeah, peanut butter, it's just like, it's not the good stuff. And every time I remind it, it's like, you know, someone got to decide forever for everyone how this stuff is, and I'm not sure I dig it. By the way, beta glass is super nice, and I love it, says Haterbox. Honestly, I think that the beta glass is probably a bit better, but it's still not like perfect. It's just you know, like it's I guess that's the problem when a lot of people see change, they think about the change like, oh yeah, well this isn't as good as it could be, so it's not the best. But, you know, like, I think it's usually better, unless there is some real opportunity cost, to think of things as like, hey, this is better than the present. And, you know, like, it's not that any change is good change, but any good change is good change. That's like, you know, if I was running for president, that'd be my slogan. Like, not all changes are good changes, but all good changes are good changes. There you go. Like, so many people, like, hate something just because it's not as good as it could be. And it's like, but, like, you know, maybe we should have something that's like this if there's no way to get that perfect thing that we want. It'd be like, I can't even think of a great example, but you know, it's kind of a crazy thing, but it's a real crazy thing. And that's why I'm crazy. So, yeah, we're covering the end in glass, and it's already looking kind of bizarre, right? Like, what do you think about this? Is this a good idea, or are we going crazy? I thought it would, start to come together a bit faster, but it's already starting to confuse me. But again, we'll deal with it, we'll work with it. That'll be fine. So, yeah, now what we're going to do is we're going to place this. Are you going to... Wait, you said you would surround the island in glass, not cover it in glass? Yeah, I recently had the idea of, like, why not just full on cover it in glass? Just, like, every nook and cranny. Because then I was thinking to myself, like, wouldn't it be really interesting to hollow out the end and only have the glass left around the edge? Because I was thinking, like, originally, like, hollow out the end, leave the end stone out there. But what if I kept the end shape? But instead of having regular stuff there, I had glass here instead. That would be kind of wacky and cool, right? At least that's in my head. So, are you covering the bottom of it too, says Froggy Fellow? Yeah, that's the funny thing, right? So, covering the top of the end, it's not that hard. It just requires using a lot of glass. Like, oh yeah, take the glass, place it in big rows like this. There's probably more efficient rows I could do it in. But take glass, make rows, a thing happens. But getting to the bottom, that's going to be a whole journey. You have solid opinions about food. See, I have solid opinions, which means they're not peanut paste opinions. But yeah, no, when it comes to nuts, I just feel like there are so many better nuts than peanuts. Like cashews, I'm not saying they're the best nut. You know, they've got their flaws, but they're a solid nut. They're just underrepresented. Like I am always a fan of like seeing more and more cashew flavored things, but we don't get them. We get peanuts all the time. Which again, side note. Like, they're not even bad. There's just so many things that could be better. So, nah, cashews are bad. That's an objectively wrong opinion. Let's get DJ banned in the chat for having a wrong opinion. But, yeah, no, so, again, like, pistachios, I don't like them personally. But I feel like we've missed an opportunity. Because you know what the problem with pistachios is? You have to physically break them out of your shell yourself. So no one does it. It's the same with the peanuts at Five Guys. If you've never been to Five Guys, they literally give out free peanuts. But they're, like, in the shell peanuts. And it's like, well... Now that I have to work for these, there's no way I'm ever going to steal enough for this to be a worthwhile gesture. In fact, most people, you eat peanuts the first time, like, oh, this is cool, free peanuts. Then you move on, because, you know what, I'm going to stop eating free peanuts here. I just hollow out the end completely when you have it covered in glass. Yeah, that would be fun, right? Like, just having a glass overcoating of what the end used to be. Yeah, I watched that live stream you told me about. He just talked about peanut butter for 30 minutes. I just believe you recommend on the stream, like, oh yeah. Watch these Toy Cat videos. He goes on really insightful topics. Sometimes he's talking about the Titanic. He explains how like what a country is, how currency is. You'll learn a lot when you watch these streams, and then someone's watching the stream just like, so peanuts, bad nuts, pistachios, too much work involved. It's the Starburst of nuts, honestly. Like Starburst are the same thing. Like you eat Starburst, it's just a whole huge disaster. And I just don't know. Also, do peanuts belong on pizza? See, everyone can agree peanuts on pizza is crazy because they're a nut and pizza is for savory toppings. But somehow, we decide to take the most exotic fruit on the planet and, we put that on pizza. Oh, that's okay because, I have wrong opinions. No, it's... I'm very passionate about what should and shouldn't go on a pizza, okay? But yeah, how's this looking so far, chat? I personally am liking this. But I'm really worried it's one of those things that, like, looks good in my head, and then everywhere else, everyone's like, my god, Toy Cat, this is too much glass. There is a limit to how much you can do these things. But yeah, I think, and also I think, like, the way we do it, we have to kind of mix things up, keep things interesting. But yeah, it's gonna be a whole thing. We'll work it out as we go, for the most part. Looking weird AF, says Joey Weimer. Hey, that's what I want to hear. Also, thank you very much, Hayekian, for the 0.04 Ethereum super chat. PSA, if you don't own your private keys, you don't own the coins. Is that reference to Coinbase? Because I don't know, like, that's a thing. I own the private keys for 90% of my coins. I keep about 10% in a place where I don't. But in the same way, I don't own physically all the cash that I own. Which I keep physically some amount of cash in the world. But I think it's that in the modern world, cash isn't very useful, and in the in the same way, if you want to trade stuff, keeping it all personal all the time creates more loopholes. It's like, okay, think of it this way. If I announce the internet right now, I have $10,000 in cash. I don't, by the way. I mean, I might do, as I'm about to say. If I had $10,000 in cash right now, like, one, I've just announced to a bunch of people, like 800 people now know I have $10,000, pounds, whatever else in cash. It'd be weird if I had $10,000 actually, especially. But if I announce I have a lot of cash, then that's a whole thing. The odds of it being stolen, if it is stolen, there's a whole thing. There is a secondary risk that comes with so this is, I think I mentioned this in my... Oh, by the way, big thank you, Thoughts on Pineapple Pizza. It's objectively incorrect. There's no other thing. Also, Glass's best block confirmed, 2019, says Grab Knock the Destroyer. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't have 55,000 of any other block in my Minecraft world, besides maybe Cobblestone. So, like, accidental block? I don't even know. Also, do the borders first so you don't fall. Yeah, that does seem like a good idea, now that you say it. But yeah, so we're also going to try and do the sides, but that's going to be a whole mess. Like, imagine trying to cover this. It's going to be hard. So yeah, we'll go around the edge and we'll cover it in glass, because I think it'll look interesting if we do so. So, what about the dirt, says Carl Charles. Honestly, even dirt, because I always use up my dirt on some weird terraforming project, I have a max, like 64 bits of dirt. I did a big, so yesterday, I recorded something which is going to go out next week, because I'm not in the UK, so I can't do a live stream. And it used so much dirt, or like 10 stacks, and it's like, oh yeah, enough of these will make you run out. I honestly hate the texture of cobblestone, says Justice Theory. Honestly, I think that's a good thing. I think, like, the things that are super abundant should be bad. Maybe this is like Toycat I'm not even sure what this would make me, like, a bad person of some form, but I honestly do think, like, for things to be good, you need to have bad things. If everything was good all the time, nothing would be good all the time. And, like, having cobblestone is, like, because everyone has made a house from cobblestone at some point, and it reminds you, like, oh, this is just not good. Let's not do more of this. And there's something about that that's actually useful. It's like a learning experience, like, oh yeah, I shouldn't do this. This is a bad thing to be doing. You're making the end bigger, you should dig down, and then place the glass. Yeah, no, you're right, actually. I kind of like the idea of it being like a glass, like, case, though, without the thing inside. But yeah, I think removing a block would also work. But it's just I don't need end stone for anything. So maybe I'm short-sighted. But yeah, I think that's definitely the right thing to do. Will we get an update on the sheep prison, says Tangerine? I'm currently covering it in stone, slowly, bit by bit. What you're going to see is a big stone sarcophagus where literally nothing's underneath. Now, I might show it off in the next Let's Play, but it's one of those things where it's like, ooh, yeah, this is a weird thing. So, what's the goal here? Haha, I'm in. Good to see you, Goldown. Hope you're having an excellent January the 3rd. I mean, January the 3rd's my favourite holiday, personally. And, but basically, yeah, what's going on? I'm placing a lot of glass. So, if we do good, tens of thousands. But if we do bad, still thousands. Also, Super Chat just came in, but it's kind of delayed. Because the hater box, which I keep reading as the hater box, but it's probably the heater box. Maybe it is the hater box. Like, they're a box full of haters. But no, thank you very much, hater box, for the $2 Super Chat. I read the description and was forced to hit the bell. It's so funny, like, no matter what you put in the description, so few people read it. Like, I could put in there, like, oh, I want you to die if you read this. And some people would be like, you know, literally there'd be one comment being like, oh, I read Toycat's description. That's kind of mean. Like, it's funny just how few people read the description on, maybe it's just on Minecraft videos. Maybe it's gaming. Maybe it's just my channel. But, like, even on this stream, like, you know, since we've been going, I think it says in the description exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it. Or at least some description of that. But no matter how much you, like, ever describe that, it's like, you know what's way more fun than working it out myself is having it explained again. And actually, you know, I think that's the biggest scary thing about doing really long streams, is the number of people who come in and basically ask you to repeat everything. Like, one of my biggest fears is waking up at the end of the day and it's the start of the day again. Like, imagine you go to work on a really hard day, You know, I'm not gonna say that I do anything off the same variety, but something you really hate, like, oh yeah, you just finished your presentation or whatever it is. This was really hard for you, and then you wake up and your whole day's gone. That, in some ways, that'd be nice. Like, oh yeah, well, I'll do everything again and it'll be better. Like, there's a perfectionist in me that loves the idea of waking up in a new day, but there's also a much bigger part that's like, so a lot of the ways I suffered were not. Also, it's heta, like hetero, with a soft A. It says heta. Oh, so heta, with a soft A. Heta? Heta. Yeah, I guess heta. Heta. Thank you very much for the $2 super chat. Also, thank you very much, Better with Cheddar, for the $2 super chat. What does foot cheese... Why does the foot cheese toe? Why does the foot cheese toe? Well, you've stumped me well good and proper there. I guess you have won this bout of confusing the toy cat. Endstone in high contrast mode is cobblestone. Yeah, that's true, actually. I think I can show you on a live stream. I'm hoping this doesn't break everything, so if it does, I'm very sorry. But I think if we, what I can actually do... Oh, God, okay, I've broken everything. On my screen, not on this screen. Oh, yeah, we full on broke things. But if I do things correctly, which I'll try to do, so I'll add an effect filter real quick, which is color correction. We'll just put that on there. If we actually change the, I think it's the hue, we can make the endstone look like cobblestone. Is it? It's one of these, but like you can see how like, is that endstone or is it purple cobblestone? You can't tell for sure. The rest of Minecraft looks fairly similar, but that's the crazy thing about. Maybe it's something else. Like if we turn contrast all the way up. There we go. Look at that. It's literally cobblestone, right? Like we're just staring at some cobblestone right now. Like, am I placing glass on cobblestone or endstone? Who knows for sure. And all the way at the top, it's super endstoney. Just fun facts of Toy Cat. Let's turn that off now. But we can also do a few other things if we want to. I'm not going to, but just for fun. Here's... Oh, that doesn't actually do anything. Here's brightness at max. Here's... Oh, because I turned it off, right. But here's what it looks like if we turn up brightness all the way and all the way down. It's... You know, I can do a few fun things to the live stream. Side note, big thank you. We're in the end game now, so it's go down. I'm just saying, I flip my fingers, everything goes a bit purple. So I missed the super chat. I'm going to find it. I don't know where I missed it. Have you tried Minecraft on Nintendo Switch? Yeah, I actually play a fair amount of Minecraft there. Not really too much off the Bedrock, although I sometimes play Bedrock on the go. But yeah, Minecraft on Nintendo Switch. It's a fun platform. It's not the perfect platform for Minecraft. I like to recommend it over the Pocket Edition if you can't deal with touch controls, which, like, if we're being honest, most people can't. I know some people really love touch controls, but a lot of people have issues with it, so if that is the case for you, then I always recommend playing Minecraft Switch, because it's more powerful than a lot of phones, although not all phones. It's more powerful than a lot of phones, has a good input method, and you can also then play, like, you know, Mario Odyssey and other such games. Again, most of my favorite exclusives are still on Nintendo. It's a thing worth saying. Doug Wright says Control Search H only works on Chrome OS. Control Search H. I'm not going to Google that because, like, if you don't know a shortcut on the internet and someone suggests it, never type it in. That's how you get Control F forward and you end up closing your browser. Turn on chroma key and you have your video playing in the background. If only I was as good at chroma key as you are, Jiro. But yeah, no, what I think I actually can do, maybe impress you guys. No, I can't do it on the fly right here. Actually, maybe I can. I think I can set it up. Again, this is really stupid. I shouldn't be doing this while placing glass. We've got to stay on focus. But, just for fun, what I can actually choose to do... Oh, okay, we broke something again. You know, this is why I should not do that. But, we can also do some chroma key, so that all of the endstone... Okay, so we're going to turn off color correction, and we're going to chroma key from custom color. Select color. Oh, we've broken everything. We have to turn this off first. Okay, wait. Just don't worry. It's gonna go there. It's gonna happen. But what I can do is set it up so that like any glass on my screen looks like something else. So if we take the exact color, pick screen color, like from glass, we can make it so behind all the glass on the screen. Okay, that was not what I was going for right there. But you can make it look like there is a llama behind the screen. There you go. Look at that. What is the value in this, I hear you ask? There isn't really much value. But yeah, there's a lot you can do with OBS if you want to have some fun. Pro tips. I wouldn't recommend doing most of it. But you can do it. You can do it. Why do you delete your comments, says Annie Sol. I don't delete the comments. Some moderators delete ones that break rules or that are, super... like, for obvious reasons, I would hope to believe. Also, big thank you for the donation. Have you ever watched Element Animation? I have not. I think they're the Minecraft animation guys. I know there's a big community for reacting to their videos or whatever. I could be wrong. A lot of people ask me this one. So either it's like a guerrilla advertising campaign or it's something else. He is lying. It's not... Alt W, it's Control W. What did you do today? Oh, I watched this guy play class for 2 hours straight. Yeah, it's gonna be a great time. You're gonna... By the end, you should feel a lot better than you did at the start. Side note, if you ever want to pick up glass after you pick it down, you can do so. You just gotta use Silk Touch correctly. Also, side note, because... so we don't waste too much glass. When we... wasting is a big if in this case. But we can place blocks on the side of it like this. And that way we don't have the wasted block, I think. I think I said that thought correctly, but I'm not even entirely sure. But won't the Enderman pick up the glass? Wait, can Enderman pick up glass? I don't think they can. I think there's a certain number of blocks they can pick up, and they're all naturally generated, I want to say. Because interesting enough, I believe glass only naturally generates in villages, and even then I'm not 100% sure about it. So I should be fine, but big should involved there, I guess. You're going to need more glass losses, GHL. It's a good thing I've got 55,000 blocks of glass. And again, so I did the back of the envelope math, and I need about 40,000. Oh wait, I did the back of the envelope math wrong. 200 by about 200. So let's hope the end is smaller than I assume. Otherwise, I am going to need more glass. That would be embarrassing. Let's see how this one goes. Actually, then let's maybe have a bit more thing on this. Can you use MC Edit to make the world smaller? Yeah, but so my whole thing is I only play survival only. I never use external world tools on the world save. The world save is sacred. I think it's fine to make a copy of the save, or I think it's fine to, like find out information about something like that. But I try to do things that like most people would ordinarily do, because I care about playing survival the normal way. I think some people, Minecraft is again about how much can you like, play around with stuff. People love modding it, and that's fine. That's a great thing. But I love the vanilla game. I think that's wonderful by itself. The glass paint spawn village. But yeah, but like I said, outside villages, there's very few places you can find it. And in villages, it's not like easy to pick up. It's like on the side of things. Side note, can Enderman spawn on glass? Because I don't believe they can, right? Like, if not, then we've done something pretty amazing. If they can, then I guess we haven't. But yeah, it's kind of fun just to cover sections like this. Wiki says no glass for Enderman. Thank you so much, Headerbox, for the $2 super chat. We got a bunch of super chats recently. Maybe I'm imagining it, or maybe it was just always this way. We've seen so many super chats recently. I just want to say, for everyone who super chatted, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And yeah, Enderman can't pick up glass. And I believe the Enderman can't spawn on it because it's got, like, transparent blocks are usually non-spawnable. But I think glass, I'm not sure why I think it's an exception, but we'll find out soon. Your realm is messed up as a mess. Yep, that describes my realm quite well, most of the time. I have a realm that's open to the public, and if you have a realm that's open to the public, you just have to accept, like, this is not a realm that's gonna be good look. This is not a realm that's gonna be a functional place. This is a thing that's gonna be a mess. So yeah, if the more glass we place, the fewer Endermen can spawn, and then we can make an end farm somewhere if we want to, which might be fun. Like, it's a good way to get XP, right? Yeah, actually, that could be a fun, like, follow-up project, like making an end farm. So, this is the realm is creative now. Yeah, my whole thing was like, if everyone's basically using creative anyway, let's make it so everyone actually has creative, because then you can't have fun killing each other and doing stuff like that. It's just, do what you gotta do. It's all good and fine. Enderman can teleport to glass, though, says Camon Gas. So yeah, my plan is to hopefully help them avoid doing that, like, because if their whole thing is covered in glass, it should be fine. Took out stealing my ideas as usual. SMH my head. Shaking my head, I agree. Can you still fight the Ender Dragon, says Fortnite Vids. Yeah, but I think the Ender Dragon would probably break the glass. In fact, I'm certain he would. So I'm gonna ideally not fight the dragon again, although, what do you even get when you kill a dragon besides another one of these portal things? And do I really need another one of those? I would wager, probably not. Like, it's faster, but, like, not amazingly so. When is this coming on Marketplace, and what's the cost? Oh, thank you very much for the super chat. Have you played Splatoon? Says Alex Goring. So the thing about Splatoon is it's a really interesting game. It's a fun concept of like, what if Nintendo made an FPS? But also I don't like it. Like I just don't find it to be fun. I don't know what I'm like lacking from it. I don't ever try to trash games that I don't like. Although actually, you know, let's trash games I don't like. But yeah, I don't like Splatoon. I played it at quite a few different situations. And I even own it. I think it came with my Wii U or maybe my Switch. But it came with something, and I just never had fun playing it. I was like, yeah, I want to get into this game. Like, it's the saddest thing to me when you want to like something and you can't. That's like the biggest tragedy in the world. So I did destroy the desert with this in mind, says Danny DeVito's Hot Bold Spot. Initially I didn't, but I started... So, again, it's going to come up on screen in a few seconds. But Danny DeVito's Hot Bold Spot. I didn't initially start destroying it that way, but I recently like got back into it because I was like, you know, let's do that. You know, why don't we, you know, like have a use for it all? And then that's where this came from mind. I was like, how can I use that much glass? And then I thought, you know, the end probably could do with some glass. And then we realized that, oh yeah, we can get some enderman off it. And now I'm starting to realize it might actually be a good idea, covering the end in glass. Again, I don't know for sure. I mean, no one knows anything for sure. Some people just pretend to. So we'll see how that goes. So I'm so late, says that guy. Welcome to the stream. Don't worry, this will go on for a lot longer. We got a lot of time to dive into this one. It's going to be fun. Should you use stained glass, says Volt. So even if we use the most basic stain, like dye you can get, like either lapis or rose red or something, we'd still need, 55,000 divided by 8. We'd still need at least 6,500 blocks of dye, which means 2,200 bones, which is a lot to be fair. So we couldn't have used stained glass, and I kind of don't like to use it that way. Also, thank you very much, Hayekian, for the 0.04 Ethereum super chat. Again, I've said this before, but like Ethereum's like, I still think like it's one of those things where it's going to end up that like, oh yeah, you know, Toycat said some things about Ethereum, and although there's a chance to end up being crazy, I think in like 2 years we'll be like, oh yeah, should have listened to his weird advice, and now we're all using it in some way. Or perhaps the opposite, I'm not even sure. So Toycat, when will this be a marketplace? Do you know the cost yet? Will you wait? I think it's $9.90 is what we've agreed with the people who are publishing it for me. And the only reason it's not out yet is because we've got to like deal with the things, agree the details, so on and so forth. Lots of things to be sorted. And mostly, sorry, I should re-clarify. The details are mostly sorted. But the skin pack portion, all those different things to do with that. Because I want to, like, even though I don't, like skins, I don't think they add value. I feel like if they're free, as an addition to the map, that's a nice thing for me to provide people. So I want to do that as a, you know, a nice, like, you know, a free little bonus gesture. And also because I want the world to be as good as it can be. Like, wouldn't it be cool if you could download the world with the glass covered end? I don't know if you can do world downloads of ends, but I'm assuming you can. So wouldn't it be cool if your Minecraft world, you know, like if you wanted to download the Let's Play, you could do it that way. So that's the whole kind of thing. So could you make it free for the first 1 or 2 days? I don't believe you can choose what to make free on the marketplace. Like, you've got to imagine, if things could be free, then the things that aren't free would... basically, I don't think I'm in control of making it free. Or I think it would be a cool thing to do. If they ever approach me, say, hey, we'd like to do a promotion with you, I'll make it free. I'd love that. By the way, cover one of the short towers in dyed glass, says Haterbox. So yeah, here's the... Actually, wait, that might be a fun idea, like making a purple... Because purple dye is just blue and red. They're both easy enough to get. Like maybe making some purple obsidian towers. That's a really fun idea. Okay, actually, wait, head to box. I really like that idea. Chat, tell me if you like this one. So covering some of these towers, maybe one of the ones we're destroying, with purple stained glass instead. I think that could be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm liking that. Get them to have a gravel skin pack along with your world. So what's your favorite color of glass in Minecraft? Easily. I like purple now. I'm thinking about it. Okay, chat's liking it. I'd like it to add some pop to the world. I read that as poop first, and I was like, wow. You can just say you don't like it. But yeah, I think because then it's like the glass is like the end stone, and then the purple can be like the obsidian. That's a super fun idea. When you're done hollowing out end, make a desert of end stone, says Wojeka. That's such a fun idea. I really want to do that now, actually. You know, should we do that? I can't, you know, okay. I think I might do something along those lines. Like, maybe not my desert, because I feel, like, maybe we'll take, like, a different desert nearby and cover it in end stone. there's some fun ideas there. So how many stacks of glass do you have in your inventory? Says Doug, right? 0. I've got 2 glass, and now I have to go back and get some more. So a full shulker box and an inventory lasted me about half an hour. So we need about 2 or 3 shulker boxes to go another hour or so. So let's go do that. Also, yeah, thank you for the idea, chat. See, that's the fun thing. I like every now and then we get better ideas made of people. So let's now go back to the overworld. You do that by flying through here, and easy. Now we're back over here. Oh, we're back. Oh no! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! We got the glitch where we spawn in midair again. So many people must die from that. So many people. Like, I get genuinely terrified and nervous, and I have an elytra equipped. If you don't have one, it's just like, oh yeah, well, I guess I'm dead now. Guess that's a thing that has now happened. So yeah, we want to grab a second shulker box. Even though... Oh, Phantoms. Good to see you again. I was starting to think that I was going to have some fun again. But no, we're going to grab a second shulker box. We should grab more, but we won't, because that's just how we're rolling today. So now we put that up there, and now we start grabbing all the glass. Slowly placing it into the shulker boxes. See, I've got a lot of glass. It should be, if you're not familiar, lots and lots and lots of glass. Because I have a big desert. And it took me 3 days to smelt it all, by the way. 3 days. And you might think, like, oh, that's really long. Like, surely you're doing something wrong. And it's like, no. You forget that it takes 10 seconds to smelt every block. Every one of these blocks we're placing took at least 10 seconds of raw effort. Oh, God. How did they get me down here? Oh. Phantoms are glitchy, apparently. Well, okay, then. But, yeah, Phantoms are a scary monster. I have died 1 too many times. Had a big desert. That's true. It's technically past tense now, you're right. So I had a big desert at one point. And now I have something that is vaguely like that. So this chest still has some... No, it doesn't. This one. There we go. Let's do this. Your torch biome has phantoms. Guess the light doesn't scare the monsters away. Like, I feel like phantoms should be scared away by light. Maybe I'm the weird one. Maybe that's the controversial, strange opinion. But I just feel like that's a thing that should be a thing. Also, we have to take out a stack of glass. Oh, wait, why did I take it out of there? Put back the stack of glass. Put a stack of glass away. And now we can pick up the 2 shulker boxes. Shulker box 1, shulker box 2. Okay. Man, I hate phantoms beyond belief. They're just not interesting mobs anymore. Like, as soon as you've conquered the phantoms, they're just a punishment for going to the Never or the End. Because, you know, when you go to the end, you don't really want to sleep, generally speaking. That sky glitch is more prominent in P, especially when you're underground and log out. Yeah, no, I've heard it. So it's all Bedrock editions. It just happens in 1.8, I believe. But it's just like, you know, maybe we should fix that. So okay, how do you have a crossbow? If you have experimental gameplay, you can get one. It's wonderful. I like it personally. Are you gonna create and drown a zombie farm? Socialism is toy cat. I do actually have a drowned farm. I don't know if it even works. Like, I started it and I was like, this is a cool thing. And I didn't really want tridents anymore because I have enough. So I stopped going there. So I have a drowned farm. Is it working? That's a question for another day, I guess. So let's lay around and down and up and around. Okay, there we go. We're good. We're alive. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Have you played Persona 5? And if not, I recommend. It's one of those games that's like on my to watch, like, to playlist. I guess, like, to watch would be a movie. But I haven't got around to it just yet. It's definitely like a thing that I know would be good and that I would enjoy. I just haven't personally done it. Although, side note, you know, let's just while we're here anyway, let's real quick talk about this one, right? So, I've been watching a fair number of movies recently, and whenever I start watching movies, I always end up back down the sci-fi train. The only things I can watch for like a full, what is it, like 2 hours for a movie, is usually like sci-fi, because my mind's just running the whole time. Like, man, future's cool. Like, maybe I used to not think that like movie categorization was a good idea, because I mean, like, what makes 2 comedy movies similar besides they make you laugh? Like, that seems like a stupid genre. Like, things that make you laugh. Like, oh, why don't, you know, technically speaking, I laughed at, like, you know, like, if you take the right things, you can laugh at a can of tomatoes. Doesn't mean the can of tomatoes is funny and that it should be included in the comedy genre. But, especially because, like, for me at least, most humor, if you tell me something's funny, it's not funny. Like, if you tell me, like, I told the best joke last night, I'm like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then it's like, oh, this is nothing. Because situational comedy, or like, comedy that is actually revolving around, I don't know, like, it's funnier when something comes out of nowhere than when something comes out of, oh, that's the end sounds. Super creepy. Comes up something you like. It's like horror, like, the only thing that really keeps horror in touch is like, oh yeah, there's a lot of, we're gonna try and scare you. If something tries to scare me and tries to mess me up, it's like, well, I mean, it's easy to turn this one off. It's like, if someone tickles you out of the unexpected, it's like, oh, that's kind of funny. And then if someone says, I'm about to tickle you, I'm about to tickle you, I'm about to tickle you, you're ready, you're prepared, your guard's up. And it's kind of an easy thing. Like, maybe I'm the crazy one. But the one genre, which I think actually does have a united thing, is like sci-fi. Because again, I used to always think when people liked the genre, like, I used to think less of those people, like, man, like, what? How can you define yourself as liking a whole set of things? It just seems a bit bizarre. And I think I've learned that, I like any form of like future-based sci-fi stuff. Also, are you ticklish? Says Kit Kats. I actually am. I think. Is it not normal to be ticklish? I think every single person is ticklish, right? Like, maybe it's just like under the wrong situations, but like, I definitely do tickle easily. I'm not a human contact kind of person. Maybe that's why. Like, maybe that's in my head at least. The theory is like, oh yeah, the more, time that you spend with like other humans being touched and touching, the more comfortable you are with it. But like, I like my personal space, my personal time, and maybe that's part of it. But I'm definitely like a ticklish person. I definitely, if someone, it's the natural response. If you don't know, by the way, fun fact, I know like more than probably average about tickling. Tickling is like your body's just best response to like foreign body on you, because generally speaking, foreign bodies aren't always a bad thing, but it's also like your body, if possible, should avoid them. So instead of making something like, oh yeah, like we use pain for a lot of like, this is bad, stop this right now, whereas ticklish is more like, this is uncomfortable. In the same way, it's just like your body's response against like foreign organisms. Like, hey, it probably would be better if you didn't have a snake lying around on you right now. And so I think it's like, it is like a sometimes helpful thing. It's like, honestly, in my head at least, like, not liking spicy food, probably also a good like gene to have in there. Like, because, okay, so I think I told a story a little bit earlier, but spicy food has, I always forget the exact name of it, but it has a thing inside of it which activates your tongue in the same way that, like, it's basically telling your body, we are dying right now. It sends that signal, and your brain is like, okay, well, let's go into death mode. That's just the thing that's happening. And I feel like people who like that feeling, because some people are like, yeah, I eat Carolina Reapers for fun. The pepper that like destroyed my mouth for like 3 hours, my stomach for a day, and my body for like a week. That some people do that for fun. And it's like, man, that is the same as like if we had a gene that made it fun to like, I don't know, jump off tall buildings and die. And it's like, that's not a feeling you should enjoy. That's a feeling you should, or at least the thought you should enjoy. Anyway, so your toy cat, will this glass print end from spawning? It totally will. But yeah, spicy food has the thing inside of it. Makes you die, and or makes you feel like you're dying at least. And I feel like ticklish is the same thing. Like, people touching you unexpectedly is something you should be on high alert for, especially in the modern world. Like, even though humans are getting closer and closer all the time, there's always some portion of humans who are trying to, abuse that fact. The closer people get, the more, the most trusting, okay, when you live in a city, you learn very quickly, like, oh yeah, you've got to be careful with your belongings. Especially the crime, like, if you go to, like, a Central America, it's like, yeah, if you don't have a constant thought and watch on all your belongings, you don't have a constant readiness for a foreign sense, you're going to lose some belongings. That's not a good thing. If everyone could constantly keep that stuff on watch, maybe no one would lose these things. And yeah, long story short, I often think to myself, like, how could we improve the human race? Like, this sounds like a eugenics thing, but I just mean, like, if you, I try to think, like, if someone, like, created a human, right? Like, why did they create it in this way? Like, there's so many bad design choices in a human. So, for instance, in a man, and very close to being true for a woman, the plumbing department and the fun department, same part of your body. That is awful. Imagine if your bedroom was the room in your house where you had a bathroom. Imagine it's like, okay, so you want to see the kitchen. This is where we, like cook food, and eat food, Then this is the dining room, which is part of the kitchen. This is the living room. This is where we, relax. This is the bedroom where we, I guess the games room would be a more accurate analogy. Yeah, imagine your games room was always your bathroom. Like, so this is the bedroom. This is where we sleep at night. And then this right here is the games room. This is where we put the plumbing. And we don't just put the plumbing here, like a urinal or something on the wall because it's a cool games room. There is literally 6 bathrooms in here. And it's like, okay then, bit too much if you like me. Like if you like this, think this man uses like too much. I definitely say the word like too much. It's one of the worst things. Also, what are your thoughts on artificial intelligence? Says Pappy Cappy. I think we're really far away from like an artificial intelligence that can actually mimic a human all the time. But what people always forget is that artificial intelligence, or it's called general intelligence, like something that can cover everything, isn't necessarily the goal. Having robots being exactly like humans, no one really has an interest in that, right? Like, think about, is there any business in the world, or even any government that's like, hey, I'd like to have humans, but trillions times more expensive. Because you know how much it costs to make a human? You buy someone a steak dinner, and you tell them to go home to their wife, and then 9 months later you got a human. How much does it cost to make a robot human? Well, you do trillions in R&D. You make prototypes that fail. You spend years and years and years, decades of your life, and then hopefully you're not the person. It's like, okay then, that's to me. That's just a horrifically inefficient way to get any task done. However, general intelligence that's slightly less general than all of humanity, like, okay. Side note, bye Twicket, hope you have a good day. You're so funny, by the way, says Derpy Cosmos. Thank you very much for the $2 super chat. I hope that my conversation about artificial intelligence, how we're getting it, isn't the thing you find funny, because it's very real. The robots are coming for your jobs. That's a joke, I should clarify. In case someone's like, and that's the moment Toycat went full-on conspiracy mode. But, so here's the thing. I think more and more generalized intelligence is going to be a thing. Like, oh yeah, have you seen how robots, it's computer programs, like it's not actually robots, but have you noticed how like there are computer programs that can make up news stories now, and sometimes they can take other news stories, piece them together, and reword it. Like plagiarism so most plagiarism detectors just check if you've literally copy pasted or if you changed the word here and there. This is something which can pass any plagiarism test, and it will seem like a human wrote the story. Sometimes it does it badly, sometimes it's like most of the ones that are like widely used are used badly, which that's a fault in the way people use things. But the fact that news stories can be written by a robot already, like that's just like one of the basic things they can do. Do you want toast in the morning? Hire a toast maid, which I'm sure is a job title somewhere, or get a robot that can work out, oh, it's been 3 minutes since the toast was put in. I'm gonna take it out and put some butter on it. You can see how like even the most basic robot logic is doing good things. Think about Alexa. Like she's definitely not an artificial intelligence. She's just a set of responses to questions, but she can answer enough questions that she's like a friendly person around the house. She's not quite in the place where you think she's a person, but you can you can respond to her like a person. Like, hey Alexa, hope you're having a good day today. And she'll give you a nice homely response. And it's like, that's a thing. So, artificial intelligence, it's a lot closer than you think, but it's just not the thing that you think it is. It's like, there's so many big misconceptions about specific fields, because, I mean, most people learn about things from movies and TV, which is a dramatization. It's good. It teaches you about the big dangers, but also usually underwhelms on the specifics. Notice me, Senpai Nightbot, says Jaden Farlard. Nightbot's a bot in the chat. See? Like, he's not even intelligent. It's literally a program you can add to any YouTube or Twitch live chat that just, like, sets up a certain set of rules, responds to them, and, deletes people who uses them. And then sometimes Nightbot even gets sassy and, like, calls people pussycats or whatever. Like, my point is that you can make pretty useful robots without them being intelligent. And even if they get slightly intelligent, things get amazing. What are we doing in our life, says Gaming Magic. Not very many things, as it turns out. Not very many things. Hey, Toycat, do you have a life? No, I literally, I die after all of this. Also, I'm back. So why are you doing this? Says Jigp1. Sub to Poods. Feel free to. And why am I doing this? Says Jigp. It's my next big, like, weird project. I know it's a very weird project, but it's a fun weird project. The second time you said Alexa, mine turned on. I honestly feel so bad for anyone who has the name Alexa, you know, in 2019. Like, man, your parents just named you thinking, oh, we'll have like an Alex, but like an Alexa. And now, you know, like, if your name is Alexa, you must get so much abuse. Like, oh, Alexa, can you turn off the lights? And you have to be like, look, that's funny the first time you say it, but just stop now. At least that's how it is in my head. Maybe there's some Alexas out there who are really cool. I'd like to meet an Alexa, honestly. If you have someone, if you or someone you know is called Alexa, and you live within 50 miles of the Greater London area, and would like to buy me Five Guys, that's always my fun condition. Like, you can always meet up, but you have to buy me Five Guys and promise not to murder me in my sleep. But Alexa, play Despacito. There's a big shopping center in Berlin that's named Alexa. I was in Berlin. I do not recall the Alexa shopping center. I clearly am a failure, is the only way I can take that one. What is your pick block button? It's up on the D-pad. Most people use the middle button on the mouse, or if they're playing on a controller. I think most people use one of the D-pad buttons. It's really convenient. Like, oh, I ran out of glass, but have I? Oh, I literally ran out of glass that time. That's embarrassing. What hour do you have in... What is that question? What hour do you have in America now? Well, I don't understand that in the slightest, so I'll move on to the next question, which comes in from Haley Stark, who says, not the same, but every time someone asks if I'm related to Tony Stark, it gets annoying, actually, says Haley Stark. Honestly, I'll be 100% honest with you. That was my first thought when I heard the name, because, you know, again, so thank you very much for the $5 super chat, Haley Stark. One of the people who... So again, there's lots of people who shop streams regularly. I could respond to chat and go for all of you, but like, you know, I do spot the names that are here on a regular basis, and I was like, oh yeah, Haley Stark. I saw her on Twitter. I was like, that's a Tony Stark thing. But I think it should be taught. Okay, so I think in schools even we should teach like, hey, if there's something like obvious about someone's name, don't mention it to them. The name is their most common thing that you know nothing like just because you haven't seen it before, they've definitely seen it. So, Haley Stark, I'm assuming that's her full name, based on the fact that everyone says it. You know, like, like Tony Stark, am I right? And it's like, everyone knows that. Or even, I'm surprised you don't get, like, Eddard Stark, like, you know, is winter coming, Haley? Am I right? Ha ha ha. But, like, you know, so, I don't know. If someone's name sounds like a funny thing, they know it already. I did this to a girl, like, I've made this mistake once. I think I knew a girl called, like, Jessica Barrett or something. And I was like the rifle, right? Thinking I thought that time I was actually unique, and she's like, I get asked this all the time. And I was like, oh, even the weirdest of references, like, you know, referencing you know, a gun to a random person. And yeah, just long story short, you should never reference the most obvious thing about someone's name, because I guarantee they already know. In fact, yeah, like, if you have something super witty, like, Haley, you mean more like Bailey, my favorite whiskey-based Irish liqueur, you know, maybe you can get something from that. But pro tip, if there's something obvious about someone's name, just don't. Like, they know it. Like, honestly, this is something, I was thinking about this recently. Like, why do so many people do so many absurd things? And I think the biggest reason is honestly just like, oh yeah, the biggest reason that people say stupid things. By the way, in Toycat, how much I'm late? How much times you made fun of America so far? Like none, I think you'll find, Electropolar. But like, a lot of people speak like without thinking about how it will be received. My pro tip would always be like, try and speak don't speak how you want to speak how you want to be received. It's like I was on the internet, like, some people complain they never get noticed, but like everything, or like they never had a question in Q&A Saturday, but they're asking the same question every week that's already been answered or something like that. And it's like, yeah, the reason you're not featured is because I don't pick these based on how fun it is to ask. I pick on how fun it is to answer, or how interesting it is to answer, or whatever else. Because, you know, Q&A, it's meant to be for everyone, not for you. in a conversation between two people, yeah, maybe it's a good idea to talk how you want to talk sometimes. Be selfish a little bit of the time. But when it's like, like there's 937 people here, it's like, try not to do that. When you do it, admit you're doing it, have a fun time. Maybe it'll be good for them. But speak how you want to be received, not how you want to be, not how you want to send, I guess. Yeah, speak how you want to receive, how you want to be received, not how you want to send. Also, is there a good way to get ender pearls about the end? Says Dakota Kelm. There isn't really a good one. I've seen a really useful tip that requires a lot of effort that I might give a try on my next big run. I can die on. But yeah, that's that fun facts of Toy Cat. Have you tried Smash Ultimate yet? Yeah, I have played it. It's really cool. I love that it starts with the original 8 characters and then kind of expands from there. Like, I love when games reference like their kind of past. It's fun to me. Maybe just me, but it's definitely fun to me. Toy Cat, your live stream just lagged a bit. That's actually on your end. I can tell on mine if it's my fault or YouTube's fault. And it's on your end, so maybe check your stuff out. Pro tip with Toy Cat. So, how much time do you still have left for the stream, says Beyblader Kid? I don't honestly know. I was thinking of just streaming until I ran out of the effort and or want to stream. But it's going to be kind of fun. What's your next big Minecraft run going to be, says Chloe? This is a good question. I'm really torn between 2 good ones right now. Beating Minecraft in first person, or beating Minecraft without placing blocks. I think without placing blocks sounds better. But I think the other one's harder. But yeah, that's the thing. I'm thinking actually. So maybe this is a bad idea because I try to keep the videos and live streams separate where I can do. But I was considering, and have been considering for a while, so my No Hunger Challenge of Minecraft. Try to stream that as it goes. Like, cause there's so many failed attempts. It's honestly unlikely to succeed, but it'd be kind of fun to. Like, to give it a go, everyone watching. By the way, Graveler's a good block. Prove me wrong, says Electropolar. Objectively, I mean, like, I feel like that's on the same level as saying, the Nazi Party had some good ideas. Prove me wrong. It's like, well, your opinion is concerning, and maybe we should get you checked to a mental hospital. Also, new challenge, make a structure out of end obsidian, says Jigpie. Yeah, I definitely want to do something with all the end stone. Maybe I'll just make my own end in the overworld. Like, I have a nether cube anyway. Why not make an end cube? But I'll come up with some fun things as we go. Because I definitely want to mine some end stone in a future stream. But for now, we're doing this for the most part. But yeah, thank you very much for the super chats. Really appreciate the super chat things. They keep it going good. Also, beat Minecraft by using armor or sword. AKA using a pickaxe. Yeah, I think no weapons, no everything. Oh, by the way, big thank you. I'm $2 more poor. Prove me wrong, says Brendan Hampton. Actually, you're $1.99 more poor. This was an easy one to prove, Brendan Hampton. I feel like you weren't even trying. Do you feel good yet? Says Pickle the Gamer. I do feel really good. Thank you for asking. Also goes well with Toaster, says Max C2. Always goes well with Toaster. Who's better, IBX Toy Cat or IBX 2 Cat? It's clearly IBX Toy Cat. IBX 2 Cat's just this weird channel that's a knockoff of it. But a big thank you for the £1.58. How badly can you butcher my name? And can you win Skywars opening no chest? Says Eustace Merriweather. That's how it's pronounced. There's no way that's butchered, right? Eustace Merriweather. Thank you so much for the £1.58 donation. I'm assuming that's $2. Wait, let me just quickly Google. I'm just curious now. £1.58 in USD. Oh, it's exactly $2 US. It's gone down a bit. Which again, like, bad thing in terms of like everything I own. Good thing in terms of the fact that I get paid in dollars. So your donation's gone up against the dollar or the pound or whatever today. Are you placing glass on the bottom? Says Black Cobra. Yeah, I don't know quite how that's gonna work now that I really start to get down to it, but I intend to. So yeah, I want to encase the end in glass entirely. It should look kind of cool when it's done. It might not look kind of cool. It might look awful. Let's hope it doesn't. So, what day at what time did you discover Minecraft? It was a Wednesday at 2 AM. I'd just eaten a large pizza. There was a personal pizza. It's pronounced Jigpea. All hail the new Mex Prez. See, here's the thing, Jigpea. I really think it's Jig Pie, because, like, it's a Jigglypuff. Jig Pie, Jig Puff. You know, Jig P. It's not Jiggly Puff. Puff. Jigglypuff. That sounds like a really strange way to say it. But thank you very much for the $2 super chat, and thank you for letting me know how to pronounce your name. Again, I never try to mispronounce names on purpose, unless I let you know I'm mispronouncing your name on purpose. Like, you know, I'll do that all the time, just for fun, actually. But, yeah, I don't try to mispronounce on purpose. So, thank you if you let me know, especially via super chat. Like, if you just tell me, like, you're saying my name wrong, it's like, well, wow, that's the whole thing. But anyway, this is the kind of idea I come up with while drunk. Really drunk, says Shane Holland. Who's to say I'm not drunk? Really drunk. No, it was, honestly, I like playing survival, I like big projects, and I like that people enjoy those big projects. So that's why we do a lot of these. Some people say, like, this is a bad idea. And it's like, I mean, it's actually a pretty good idea that just sounds bad if you don't know Minecraft or you don't know how I play Minecraft. And, you know, if you don't know of those things, that's fine. It's just an interesting insight. The dragon will break it all, says Echo Slayer Gaming. I think the dragon can break a lot of it, but we'll see how that does go. What is your least favorite number, says Dude Charizard. Oh, easily, like, honestly, the 1 without, like, the little head on top and the base at the bottom. That's just a line. Is that an L? What's the deal with that? 1. Get your stuff together. You're one of the only 2 numbers we have in binary. Don't even have your stuff together. It's awful. So, I want to talk about tobacco a little bit, because I don't smoke. Okay, so tobacco is cigarettes, nicotine. They're all widely known things you're probably somewhat familiar with, right? But I don't smoke, and even though when I was, like, in school, I, like, I tried a little bit. It was never entertaining to me. It was never a good, fun thing to try. But yeah, and I think in the younger generation, so I'm gonna say our generation, if you're not young, sorry for calling you not young, but that's just what you are. It's just how the world is. You've aged, and the world is. No wait, yeah, you've aged, and the world has not aged with you. Actually, the world has aged with you, but just the world ages very slowly, at a rate where, like, the Earth got, like, 0.00001% older this year, whereas you got, you know, like, 6% older this year or something. Anyway, so I was thinking about tobacco smoking a lot, because I wanted to look up, how did tobacco come to be? Because unlike most bad things humans do to themselves, I could never find a good enough reason for why people smoke tobacco. Because if you don't know, like, nicotine's really good if you're addicted to nicotine, right? Like, nicotine is, so if you don't know, nicotine's the active ingredient inside cigarettes. And it's, you know, it makes you feel much better if you're addicted. If you're not, it makes you feel, like, maybe lightheaded and sometimes slightly more, I think it's not depressant, the other one, but it's a stimulant. I think, technically speaking, you know, like, it might help you with some focus or something. But realistically speaking, it doesn't do anything. But yet, in spite of that, we've had tobacco for thousands of years. People have been, like, hurting themselves, like, for years and years and years. And I always found this kind of interesting. Like, oh yeah, so, you know, like, because alcohol consumption, for instance, it's, like, you know, like, oh yeah, it's super bad for you, but you get some benefit, you know? It's like going to Taco Bell, it's bad for you. Every morning after a Taco Bell, you're going to feel regrets. Every morning after you go for Indian food, you're going to think to yourself, like, that's real rough. Also, Christian says, why didn't they just vape 100 years ago? Also, Toy Cat casually discusses tobacco while doing a useless project in Minecraft. This isn't a useless project. Take that back, good sir. But, like, yeah, but so, you know, for most history we didn't know that tobacco was bad, but we also didn't really have a good reason to believe it was good. But yeah, it's one of the most cultivated crops. I want to say it's one of the crops that was really big in the south of America for a really long time. Like, easy to grow, just do your whole thing. Like, it kept a lot of the world moving and going. But at the same time, it's like, why? And I looked into this, and it's been going for at least 3,000 years. And it's just like, oh yeah, people found tobacco, and we have no real reason, we don't know how people, like, saw this crop one day and was like, what if we rolled this up, and we set fire to it, and then we inhaled the smoke? Can you imagine that conversation? Like, oh yeah, what if we just breathed in the smoke? You mean the things our lungs literally hate? Yeah, we'll just breathe that in. Also, side note, big thank you for the super chat. Goatfish Plays, $1.99. Play BattleBot Theater. Oh, I played Battle Block Theater, like when it was Games of Gold, like 2 years ago on this channel. I used to have a series where I played every new Games of Gold. I kind of want to bring it back. I think that could be a fun thing for the future. But yeah, maybe we should. Maybe we shouldn't. Let me know. Maybe I should just stream them every time. Like that could be fun, especially on the months where that's a thing. Anyway, yeah. So, I play Battle Block Theater and I play a lot of Games of Gold. Maybe you want to see those, but the weird thing is that like tobacco, we still don't really know how like how did we come from? Also, you missed some glass. Whoa, I did miss some. You're right. Oh, thank God for that. Thank you very much for letting me know. But this will look like a glass planet, says Gamer. Yeah, I'm hoping it does look like a glass planet, right? That'd be amazing. How do we invent those mashed chickpeas things? Someone's like, I'm gonna smash those peas, says DevKA. Charlotte Stubbing says, Toycat, you do stream a lot. Yeah, I've streamed like every December. I usually stream a bit more than normal, but I had such a good time streaming this December. That I think I might do it more, maybe. Or maybe I won't. I'm not even too sure. Like, it's kind of a weird thing that the streams have kind of grown more and more. Because it was just, and it kind of started as like this, like, I'm just gonna, I just wanted to get something done, and now it's a whole, like, main part of the channel. I think they're fun, but it's also like a scary thing. I've said before that, like, being a full-time streamer is not a good thing to want to do. Like, it's a lot of people's dreams, like play games, get paid, am I right? But I think it's well, it's gonna end up like at some point in time being like, this is one of those really bad jobs for your health. Like, you know, like I think it'd be really fun to I don't know, like try out new foods. Or yeah, I think honestly, fun job. One of the things you can do. I'm not gonna recommend this because like lots of downsides. But you can get drugs tested on you. So all you have to do is you get paid like, I forget how much it was. It was like 3,000. They take you out of your life for a week. You go to a place. They give you some experimental drugs. They've been tested on animals, tested all these ways. And you just like list the side effects. And if you get too bad a side effects, they pay you for those too. Like, you know, for the inconvenience caused. And it's like, that's a cool drug, right? That's a cool job. Not a cool drug. Side effects are not a cool thing to have. But like, that seems like a really cool thing on the surface. Like, oh, that's a easy way to get paid. All you have to do is lay in bed for a week. But it's like, nah, like, you know, you're selling your health for money. And a lot of streamers sell their mental health for money. It's, like, streaming, like, okay. It's weird because on a stream, your viewers go up and down at a whim's notice. Like, if you do a bad job at work, it doesn't affect you for hours, days after. If you're streaming, if I start talking about something less interesting, maybe don't like talking about, you know, like streaming and how that is. Maybe I lose like 10% of my viewers right now. Well, now you're making 10% less money per hour, per whatever. Okay, that's the thing. You know, your money comes from donators, or I call them tippers, but everyone calls them donations on Twitch. So whatever. Like, your money comes from donations. So you're entirely at the mercy, you're at the whim, you're at the beck and call of people generously deciding to give you money. It's like being a waiter where you have to pray people tip you. In America, I should say. In the UK, you get paid the right amount of money for your job. But being a waiter in America, you pray that people pay you money or you don't get it. So it's like all the worst bits of so many jobs. It's like, I don't want to be a full-time streamer. This is a fun way for me to have fun building in Minecraft. But if it became my full-time thing, the way I was paying every one of my many bills, then that'd be stressful. Like, why has no one super chatted in the last, like 5 minutes? Why has no one bought merch this stream? I promoted it a while ago. You can see how that's a problem. Also, 2019 will be trash, says Mary AJNH. I don't think it will be trash. But, like, you see my point? They're like, oh, man, that's a lot of things to worry about. And maybe that's just me, like, maybe if you don't worry about anything, you just live your passion, it's how it is. Maybe I just worry too much to be a streamer. But that's why I personally am of the opinion that'd be a bad full-time thing to do. So yeah, I don't know where that even came from. I think someone asked, like, so you've been streaming more? I think I might stream more or less, and there's always gonna be at least a stream a week, hopefully, but not all the time. Also, tips of Toycat: do drugs, make money. 10 out of 10. That is basically what I said. I should probably retract that statement. Like, oh yeah, don't actually do drugs for money. But like, it's the best sounding to me at least, it's like the best, easiest sounding money. Like, you know, I take drugs all the time. Well, I mean, as in like, you know, I took half a paracetamol after New Year's Eve, a painkiller if you don't know. It probably has a different name in America, but like, I take some, you know, like, you know, some basic over-the-counter drugs. You know, it'd be cool if I got paid for those. Like, the easiest sounding jobs are often the ones with the most strings attached, because someone can attach those strings, because everyone wants to do that job. And because Twitch streamer is such a widely sought after job, because YouTube streamer or whatever is so widely sought after, it's like, ooh, that's a thing. Tylenol in America. Oh, is Tylenol paracetamol? Hey, thank you very much, Socktators. I thought Tylenol was a really serious painkiller. Like, oh, I'm gonna take some Tylenol. It's just one of those weird kind of things. So, Toycat, do you play modded Minecraft? I don't actually play modded Minecraft. I think the base game has so much going on for it. And I think based on how many people have been watching the streams recently and seeing the big projects, I have the feeling that a lot of people might just agree with me. I mean, I hope they agree with me. Maybe people just like the titles and they're like, you know, I already clicked on the video. I can't click away now. Or what am I going to do for the next few minutes? But that's just a thing. So let's look at what we played so far, by the way. Let's fly up. Let's fly down. Let's fly around so we don't die. So it's looking pretty good so far, actually. Like, what do you guys think? I'm liking the look of this. I need to get some water because my mouth is very dry. But I'm going to be right back a second. Like, literally 4 seconds. I lied to you. I was gone for like 8 seconds. How can you ever trust me again? Darcy Haynes says, so why are you doing this? This is my next big project. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's listed in the description. I'm not too sure, though. Okay, so let's pick these up now. And let's go back to the overworld. And let's pick up some more. Hopefully we don't end up in the sky again. Don't be in the sky, don't be in the sky, don't be in the sky. And we're in the sky. This is just my respawn point now, apparently. I respawn in the sky. I was born in the sky. Lived in the sky. Ah, we have to climb over this again. Do you still live in the house you did at Toron? Says Justice Hillary. Yeah, I think I'll live here for another amount of time. How long is that amount of time? I don't know for sure. So we got basically no empty ones. Hey, thank you very much, Hayekian, for the £5.20 or 0.44 ETH super chat. I'm digging the Ethereums. I'm gonna have to like, again, like I feel like this is almost like a test, like you said, like yeah, you gotta, if you don't own the private keys, you don't own the things. And it's like, well, now I'm probably keeping too much Ethereum on an account like that. Had a lie to us today. I can never trust you again. I know it was pretty dastardly off me. But actually, you know, I'm kind of curious. If so, this is like for Hayekian specifically, because I'm curious like how that would feel for him. But if you let me know if you have your own answer, chat. But if you gave someone something that became worth a lot, do you think you would feel bad about that? And do you think they should give it back? So obviously in the case of a stream tip, like you can't, a tip is slightly different. But let's pretend it's not, just for the sake of this argument. If you gave a friend, let's say, a Nintendo 64 because he wanted to play on it, and you just gave it to him, like, okay, have this, man. You know how we're good friends, etc. I want you to have my Nintendo 64. And then the next year, for some reason, it goes up and it's worth 1,000, even though it was worth $10 that time. Do you think that like you are owed some amount of his thing? Like, do you think that he should give it back because it's now worth a lot? Squid Gaming, thanks so much for the £7 super chat. Will you ever make an automatic sorting system? Also, did you hear that a series of unfortunate events on Netflix is over? Really, it's over? I thought that they like just released a little bit more. That'd be kind of tragic if so. I mean, I didn't really like it too much on Netflix anyway, so I guess like okay. Oh my god, I hate these things so much. Like just I don't want you to do this. I want you to die, all of you. Please stop harassing me. All I want is to get glass out and put it in my various shulker boxes. Is that so much to ask? Apparently so, right? No, yeah, I hate these things. Those things. They're literally the worst. Once you've like killed a few of them, they just start removing gameplay value, in my opinion. And because like when we're not sleeping because we're in the net and we literally can't sleep there. Ah, stop it. Okay, let's just go to sleep. You're gonna die. You did this to yourself, fellas. You did this to yourself. So When is the glass building? You're just a few seconds late. But yeah, thanks so much for the £7 super chat. I honestly forgot what it said. I think I responded, but now I'm feeling bad that I didn't. They are bully. Okay, so let's do this. So let's just quickly go back. Let's go to my Streamlabs. So as a pro tip, there's a link in the description where you can, if you want to super chat, but you want the money to go to me, and also you can super chat with a lower amount there, I believe. Check out the thing in the description. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but I have new merch that's only available via the Streamlabs store, and I really like how it looks. Darcy Haynes says kids are yelling around me, and it's ruining the Toy Cat stream experience. You know, I'm just saying, this is a valid reason to maybe, I don't want to imply child murder, but also I'm going to imply child murder. I mean, I'm just saying, it's justified in situations like these. I'm probably liable if you kill a child now, so please don't. Would be a lot of effort for me. Having to go for... ideally, at least, yeah, I'd rather not go to a child murder hearing. So, so Cat, is this going to be you destroying your fake desert? So I've destroyed my fake desert, and now I'm taking the glass from said fake desert. And I'm putting it in the end, because, you know, do things need to make sense anymore? It's 2018 after all. So we make an automatic sourcing system, was the big first question. And to answer that one, by the way, the automatic sourcing system is something I really want to make. But it's also such an annoying, like, process, because you need to make a lot of hoppers. But I think I should do it. So yes, no, and yes again is the answer to this one. Like, it's a really cool piece of redstone. It's just one that like, it's just not fun. It's not a fun process to make it. It's just a useful process. And I guess, like, part of Minecraft is, like, making useful things. But at the same time, part of Minecraft is having fun, too. So you gotta balance those factors up against each other, I think. And we'll see what the balance comes up with when we are done with that. So let's just grab the last few bits of glass. Yeah, we're really running out of glass in a pretty quick level here. Which is a good thing. It means we're placing it quickly. But also it's taking quite some time. Q&A, is Frosty the Panda a brown pandy? A panda, says Squid MC Gaming. The worst bit now is that now that we have, like, pandas in the game, Frosty the Panda is, like, less of a fun joke, and now it's like a realistic Minecraft character. Like, I'm Frosty the Panda. I'm with my friends, the pandas in Minecraft. Do you get it? Like, I'm a panda, and the pandas are in Minecraft. You can see a YouTuber being that obnoxious, right? You can see it in your head. You can picture in your mind's eye someone saying all the things that I just said. And that's kind of absurd. But it's a real fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Hey, Toycat, I really like your content. Like most people in the stream, I appreciate you sacrificing your mental health to stream for us. Keep placing that glass. Yeah, like I said, I want to clarify. Like, I have fun on these streams, but if I was doing this for hours every day, and I had to do it for hours, and I was a daily streamer every day of the week, imagine what it'd be like. Okay, so you don't stream, you don't make money today. Okay, well, want to take a vacation? Well, you don't get paid for 7 days. You know, like, it's a whole weird thing you gotta deal with and accept. Hey, ender pearls. That's nice. So, yeah, we're gonna keep on placing more glass. It's quite impressive what we're doing so far. So, like, I like the look of this so far. I think it'll look quite good by the time we're done. IBX Toycat, been subbed since 2016. Hey, that's awesome, Purple Flame. That's quite some time away. That's old school, you could say. So, are you gonna put grass in your fake desert? At first I thought I'd do that, but now I kind of like the idea of it being like the torch biome. Like okay, this is like a mental thing I have. Been subbed since 2018, losses, Justice Hillary. See, you've been subbed for over a year now, you could say. You've been subbed since last year. That's how you can phrase that one, Justice Hillary. But what's the point of laminating the end, says the hood? I guess it basically is laminating, isn't it? Didn't even consider it that way. That's a fun perspective to have on life. But, yeah, basically, I've been subbed since 1991. Hey, same here. But I actually forgot what I was going to respond to something and be like, that's a useful thing. But now I've forgotten it anyway. Oh, yeah, so, the merch. There's new merch on the merch store. If you click the link in the description, you can see it there. And Christian has, like, I think the only Nordic Toycat shirt in existence, like, on the way. It's kind of exciting. Doug Wright says, Toycat, have you considered buying something like a Tesla? As soon as self-driving cars are here, I think we will. Actually, can we talk about self-driving cars? Because it's something I think about a lot, and Tesla's, like, in that same revolution, in that, like, Teslas can drive themselves. They're not legally meant to drive themselves. You're always meant to be at the wheel with them. But Teslas are self-driving cars already, and self-driving is something that everyone, whenever it comes up, they're like, nah. Too many people just like driving, and it's true that people like driving. Because here's the real problem, right? If you have self-driving cars, the only way to make self-driving cars truly better than regular cars is if you don't have human drivers. Because if you have, say, an intersection, right now, we use traffic lights as basically robots to control your car. Like, if there's people going across, there's a red light. Because if you try to cross there, eventually we hit someone. So intersections, roundabouts, they're all just ways to control cars doing that. However, if everyone had a self-driving car, right? Go ahead, Sis Game Squirrel. If everyone had a self-driving car, then everyone would be driving more efficiently, which is better for everyone. Because if you want to go across an intersection, someone's going this way, you're going that way. All you have to do is go a bit to the right, you can go past them. And if cars can communicate with each other, then you can do crazy stuff like that. And once that happens, the car goes from being this problem form of transport to being like the most luxurious personal transport there is. You know, a lot of people like taking the bus or the train over taking a car because of the fact that, oh yeah, it allows you to do what you want with that time. It's not losing the time to being at a steering wheel and driving a thing physically. Eventually that will happen with cars, but that's like what everyone knows. What I find interesting in this debate, because everyone agrees on that, right? Like, okay, we all agree, I hope at least, that yeah, it's you know, like self-driving cars are a good thing eventually. But the problem is you can never get to the dream self-driving car stage while there are still human drivers, right? Because imagine at some point in time, at some point in the far future, we have to outlaw, make it so you can't legally drive your own car. But imagine the insanity in trying to do that any time in the next 50 years. Imagine if someone said to you, like, oh yeah, in 5 years' time, you won't be able to drive your car anymore. It's like, whoa. It's kind of like, you know, America and their guns. Like, the issue exists not because no one would make the laws the way they are today, but because they've existed so long. Oh wait, big thank you. Do you ever get bored of Minecraft? Says Dude Charizard. When I get bored of Minecraft, I, you know, like take breaks, or I switch projects, or I start playing multiplayer, or whatever. People who say they're bored of the game and then like never play it again. It's like, you know, I sometimes get bored of eating, but you know, I get hungry a few hours later, and then I eat again. I never go to myself, you know, eating is lame now. I haven't eaten in hours. Actually, I did eat recently. It was really good, by the way. Had some granola. I had some weird yogurt-based product for dinner. There was once a king that thought smoking was bad, says Beyblade Kid. Really? A king that thought smoking was bad? That'll never catch on. But, the thing about, by the way, if you could give mined vehicles, traffic would flow like a liquid because a central computer could simulate the optimal route for every car particle. Yeah, exactly. This already happens right now with traffic lights. I don't know which cities in the UK do it, but I think like Cardiff is doing it. There's a lot of cities in the UK that are trialing something where every traffic light is linked together, and those traffic lights are used with buses, so that if a bus is running late, they'll turn the lights right so that a bus can get past. It's a really clever form of like dedicated like transit routes. But yeah, basically my point with this is just like, oh yeah, if you have computers controlling things, you know, like artificial intelligence, whatever, you can make everyone have a perfectly optimal route. You can have the whole city's traffic flow be dedicated personal. Have you ever noticed how, like, oh yeah, to drive somewhere theoretically can take 20 minutes, takes 45 because traffic lights you get caught up wrong, or like all these different things, that will all be gone. And once you've removed the human element, cars can go faster. Cars can only go like, you know, 70 in the US and, you know, something like that in the UK. Because we don't trust human drivers going faster than that. In Germany, they go like 130, 150. They go a lot faster, right? And, yeah, like, the idea of like cars going faster is better is a thing we all know. It just causes more deaths of humans at the wheel. But if we remove the human at the wheel, every car can go max speed all the time. Because the computer will go as fast as is necessary. A speed limit is just there to say, look, don't be an idiot and kill someone. Like, you know, just because you need to go somewhere faster, you can't, like, you know, be more risky to do so. Like, cars are the biggest form of transport where once you get in the driving seat, you're giving up. You know, every time you get in a car, your odds of dying are depressingly high. No, sorry if you drive to work every day. Don't mean to ruin your next day. Are you talking in kilometers or miles now? Says Leanne. I was talking in miles, but I think in kilometers, like it's unlimited speed limit on the autobahns. But yeah, my point is just that, like, yeah, going faster, generally speaking, better thing, but we can't do it. But once everyone's driving a self-driven car, oh, now cars can go as fast as we humanly want them to. Like, it's super kind of cool like that. And in Germany they use km/h, and the UK uses miles now. Yeah, it's true. I think everywhere in the world, for the most part, besides the UK, uses kilometers. The UK, the US, and Canada. Oh no, Canada uses kilometers actually, which is kind of a weird thing. Creates some real issues for cars. But so yeah, here's the funny thing though. Taking away the ability to drive your own car is not going to be a popular idea with anyone. I was mentioning how, like, oh yeah, you know, in the US, they have a lot of guns. Most countries, like any new country starting today, would never decide, oh yeah, let's let everyone have the firearms or whatever. It's like a legacy law that's built in there. Like, you can't take them away because the US and its gun history, I'm not here to talk about it today. But in the same way, trying to take away something that people already have is very, very hard. Trying to take away the ability to drive your own car won't happen for a while. And everyone just says, like, oh, well, because we can't have only self-driving cars for another 50, 100 years, that's the thing. But here's what I was thinking. In cities, buses work different, right? Like, if you live in a rural area, the bus stops at every single stop, and the bus goes once every 2 hours, and it costs some absurd amount, etc., etc., etc. It's like a tiny bus that just goes from place to place. It loses a lot of money. But in a city, the way a bus works is a bus, you pay like £1.50 to get on or something in London. It's cheaper in a lot of cities, like 40 euro cents in some places. You get on the bus, the bus goes past like a stop every street. It goes super fast. They sometimes have dedicated lanes, etc. And, like, buses work different in cities. And I've always thought it's weird that, like, cars don't work different in cities. Like, imagine this, right? If you live in a city, you're not allowed to drive your own car. Like, no one wants to drive their own car in a city anyway. Like, I think it's a well-known fact that, like, if you try to drive a car in a city, you'll have a bad time. Think about New York. It's literally just a grid system where you start, you stop, you start, you stop, you start, you stop, you start, you stop, you start, you... Need I go on? So yeah, I think the real future is going to be, like, self-driving inside cities and, like, do whatever you want outside a city. Which is how most things go, right? Like, that's how all these other things go, right? Oh, so I thought you were going to talk about your fake desert, says Jacob Alters. Sorry. So yeah, the fake desert, I really... Everyone criticizes my fake desert all the time. They're like, this looks so bad. And that just makes me go, you know, now I like it even more. So I want to make it look even worse now, like cover it all in torches. So I think I might do that, just because I hate people. Also, public transport is super expensive here, says Leanne Vanderbeer. How much is a bus in your given city? Because again, in most places it's like a reasonable alternative. Because that's like usually how you sell people, like, hey, would you like to spend insert number of thousands here in a car? Or would you like to do that? I'd rather walk across New York than drive across it, says Carter Blackwell. Right, I can't imagine anyone who enjoys driving in New York City. Like, that's part of the reason why New York taxi drivers get paid so much. Hey, Christian Ingmar bought the worst piece of thing. The nation didn't work on my Visa credit card. Also, you need new images in your... Oh, wait, one sec. You need new mugs in the store. By the way, the O is pronounced like the French sound. The KJ is impossible to explain. It's like the CH in some words in German. So, Kulsvik. Hey, there we go. We got it. We nailed it, I think. Thank you very much. I hope I nailed that, Christian, for buying the mug. I sometimes consider, like, putting more serious merch on there, but I really like putting too many pieces of merch on there. It's probably not a good idea. Because that Toy Cat Stare merch, it's just awful. Side note, speaking of technology, thank you very much, Elise, for the $4.99 super chat. But on the topic of technology, what do you think of I think it's cryogenically. You know, I don't know technology because I don't know words, but cryogenically freezing yourself, do you think the frozen you could come back in the future? So, or those frozen could come back in the future. But I'll speak about me, because, you know, like, I like me as a subject. Fun fact, if you ever meet me, talk about me. I'm my favorite subject. But, so do I think that, so what do I think about freezing myself? And the whole concept. So, first of all, because I like fun facts more than I like the discussion sometimes. Did you know Walt Disney is frozen? He froze himself before he died because he wanted to live longer. And there's actually a lot of people frozen right now. Like, it's just it's a thing people do. We have no technology right now that can bring people back. And a lot of people say that's stupid, you know? Like, these people who have been frozen, they're legally dead. On a legal level, once you freeze yourself, you're not alive anymore because we can't bring you back to life. And that mostly constitutes death. But what I find interesting is the kind of debate around, like, okay, so these people are just literally, you know, they're dead people, right? They're dead people. You almost know it. Ask your girlfriend for help. The body doesn't deteriorate. What about the conscious? Yeah, that's where I want to go with this one, Devika. Like, even though you're legally dead, and even though your body is not deteriorating, I think we definitely, assuming humanity doesn't kill itself, which is really, like, it's an unknown probability because it hasn't happened yet, but it seems scarily likely on a regular basis. But assuming we don't humanity doesn't kill ourselves, it stands to reason that eventually we'll be able to bring people back from the dead at any level. And that's, when I think about that though, it's like, okay, so right now, what is legally dead isn't what will always be legally dead. If you want to live forever, all you have to do is freeze yourself, right? Like, there's a chance it will work, and if it doesn't work, well, you wasted money, but like, everyone wastes money when they die anyway. But then I start to think, like, okay, if we can bring people back from the dead that are legally dead today anyway, how long until we can bring back people who are full-on dead? Like, they died all these years ago. All we have is their bones, like their DNA. We can clone the DNA and bring them back without their memories. And then it's like, okay, so the key difference between bringing you back to life with your memories and without your memories is that if you have your memories, you know it's you. If you don't have your memories, then it's not real you. Like, honestly, I think if I forgot everything about myself, I wouldn't be Toy Cat. What would make me and a hypothetical me without my memories the same person? Like, nothing, right? Like, I guess we share the same body, and we probably both like, cheese and Taco Bell, and like, without my memories, would I like Five Guys? Arguably not. Maybe I like Five Guys so much because my first time. It's a good burger every time I go, but is it a great burger every time I go? I think so, but I don't know for sure. You know, like, you see the struggle there, and so yeah, Walt Disney is not frozen. Oh, is that a myth? Oh, did I give you a myth, or is the myth that he's not frozen? But there's a lot of famous people who are frozen. So we've definitely got to say, like, okay, so if you want to be like live with your memories, like, what's the deal with that? And I think the science behind it is really, really rough. But the cool thing is, like, you don't need exact science details. With a long enough period of time, anything is possible. Like, it might not be done in 1,000 years. It might not be done in 10,000 years. But I think if you freeze the brain, it might be possible to get something out of that in 10,000 years. It just probably isn't something you want out of it. That's the only real answer. Yes, he is frozen. I don't even know anymore. Chat's giving me mixed messages on this one. No, he's totally frozen. You can't prove anything. Oh, is it like a conspiracy theory that he's not frozen or that he is frozen? I'm not even sure. Also, $20 a day for a bus here, says Benjamin Butler. And now I see why you wouldn't use the bus in your given city. Hey, Toy Cat, why'd you call it a fake desert? Because it doesn't actually work as a desert. But yeah, going back to cryogenic freezing, because I love talking about tech and stuff like this. Like, futurology, I guess, is what it is. The thing about cryogenics is, even though it's unrealistic right now, with a long enough period of time, eventually it will be. But would I do it? And the answer to that is honestly, not right now. Because like I said, I am fairly okay with the concept of death. Like, I'm not scared of it. A lot of people have like a real fear of dying, and that's scary. You know, you should look into that. You should work that one out. You know, like, deal with it now rather than later. But I'm pretty okay with the concept of death right now. But maybe when I'm like close to dying, I'll realize that I was just lying to myself. Like, I was just putting it off. Like, I'm not scared about I don't know. I'm not scared about my first time going to Japan for 3 weeks. I'm just like, I'm gonna show up. It's gonna be a weird thing. Maybe I'll get scared when I get there. Like, wow, I'm like all by myself for most of that time. How am I gonna, am I gonna be scared about things? I don't know till I get there. Maybe it's the same with dying. Imagine you wake up in the year 4019. What would it be like? Right, that a world where they have the future to bring people back from the dead is a world so far removed from you. They definitely wouldn't speak English anymore, so you'd have no way to communicate with these people. Like, you wouldn't be a normal person in this world. That's the scary thing about being brought back to life. Like, even in the most optimistic scenario, where, okay, you can freeze yourself, somehow they bring back all your memories. Somehow they break the laws of what we currently understand to be science. They bring you back, so it's like you go to sleep, and then you wake up. Like, let's say that just before I die, I'm like, oh, I'm scared. I don't want this to be the end forever. And then suddenly I'm like, okay, I'm gonna spend $1 million. It costs a lot, by the way, to freeze yourself. I'm gonna spend millions freezing myself. It's pronounced cryogenics. Yeah, it's cryogenics. It should be Cyro, like, whenever you're not. Thank you, Kelly Drummond, for the £2 super chat. Thank you for saving me from making myself sound awful. Cryogenics. Man, that's a weird one. Anyway, so, but imagine that I decide, like, okay, I'm gonna freeze myself. I go, also, public speaking is the most common fear in men, but death is the number one fear in women. That's kind of dark. Like, men fear talking to other people. Women fear dying eternally. Also, it was good to see you, Kit Kats. Have a nice time and you're heading out. I'm not sure how to say that one. But, so let's say that I'm like, okay, I'm going to cryogenically freeze myself. I'm going to make myself live forever. And somehow in 2,000 years, I do wake up like, oh, it's me. It's like I just took a nap, but for 2,000 years. Oh, now no one I knew is alive anymore. You know, my whole, like, I don't exist, basically. Even, like, oh yeah, you know that YouTube channel I had 2,000 years ago? Nobody knows it, you know? If I start loading, because YouTube won't exist, but, like, if it does, it's like, oh yeah. That's a weird, wacky thing. So, I've lost everyone I know. I've lost my own, you know, what is currently my job, my source of income. Okay, that's get overable. It's like, I can't speak to people, because remember, English changes very rapidly. Someone from 500 years ago, even if they spoke English, wouldn't fit in the present. So it's like 2,000 years of English changing, plus maybe, you know, Chinese becomes the dominant language. Maybe German is the language we all speak now. It's like, okay, I don't speak the language. I don't have any value to add. The culture's so different because, you know, like, even if you taught like a lion or like a puffin or like a zebra to speak English, it wouldn't have anything to relate to you about. It'd be like, so, you know how, like, isn't it crazy that, like, I don't know, like, that zebras don't have anything to excite you with because your life is very different to a zebra's life. So that's like me in the future. Like, I could tell them about my life, right now, but so much about life will change in 2,000 years. So much will change, especially if we live in a future where we can freeze people and bring them back to life. Like, this is a world with no death. You gotta keep that in mind. That's scary. Like, you know, the number one fear in women, like, based on that conversation, I know, you know, if I want to hit up a new woman, like, hey, so, do you fear death? Because I do too. That's a good chat-up line we've just learned. I speak that to the girl in 2019. She's going to say, like, no, I'm actually not scared of death. That doesn't happen anymore. I'm scared of the flying spaghetti monster we proved to be true in the year 3000. It's like, oh, yeah, you should be scared of the flying spaghetti monster. He reads all your thoughts, and he wants to kill anyone who disagrees with him. It's like, oh, okay, so the future's got bigger things to worry about than that. My point here is, my point of all of this is just, like, honestly, like, dying is scary, but, like, living into too far into the future is probably scarier, right? And honestly, like, it costs a lot of money to live, like, to freeze yourself. And you have to hope that the company with your frozen body doesn't go bankrupt. Which is actually a big if. Not to mention the thought that they could bring everyone back and then put them into human trafficking because we don't know anything, says Carter Blackwell. Oh, that's a pretty dark thought, actually. Like, yeah, like, if you could buy frozen bodies, because they're dead bodies. Like, you can buy a body. Actually, you probably can't sell dead bodies. But if you buy a dead body and bring it back to life, you can do anything you want against that. Like, can you kill a dead person? Is like a real legal question in a lot of places. But the answer is if you brought them back to life yourself. Probably because no one will catch you. So, it's just, you know, I'm just saying, it's rough. It's rough. Living into the future is scarier, but what if you were conscious that whole time, says Nunny the dog? Oh, man. Don't make me think about that. Don't make me think about that. My worst fear. So this is learn some more about Toy Cat and how I'm crazy. My genuine belief that I don't know how to like disprove this myself. I think that when you die, you your brain still works. Your body doesn't. Like you can't access your body anymore. So you're stuck there in your body like this, like looking dead. I'm so terrified of that being like eternity, like spending forever in a coffin where nothing goes on, by the way. There's no stimuli to keep you entertained. I want to be made into a jar of ashes, and I want the jar of ashes. We should probably remove this little thing here, but I want the jar of ashes to be like put somewhere interesting, maybe, just in case. That is like my like fear and my plan. The brain would decompose. But like, I know that for a fact now, but like I haven't always known that, and you can measure brain activity, says the Vandermeer. We can measure what, again, so the problem with science is like it's all in this rough phase where like we can measure brain activity, but like do we know that's all brain activity? There's so many questions I have, like most people can just accept like, oh, yeah, no, you definitely don't, like that's such an illogical fear, but I can just question it until maybe it does seem logical. So I actually like onions. Onions are easily a top 10 vegetable. Straight from cryogenics to onions, by the way. Solid discussion topics of Toy Cat today. But no, yeah, onions are an amazing vegetable. If you don't like them, then yeah, I don't know. Like it, honestly, onions are just the sort of thing where like if you don't like onions, you're cooking them wrong. We're really just children playing with fire, says Carter Blackwell. I mean, the grand scheme of things, basically, right? But yeah, no, the idea of waking up in 2,000 years isn't appealing. But maybe when I die, maybe when I'm about to die, I'll be like, you know, it's better than nothing. I think, if you think about it, like, being frozen might be a really peaceful way. Like, it might just be like a life insurance policy. Like, you know, this probably won't work. But in the same way a lot of people feel happy about believing in an afterlife, what if you can believe in an afterlife, but an afterlife that's more of your present life? If you live a good enough life, and you will live a good enough life if you're rich enough to be cryogenically frozen. Like, if you're a millionaire, it's hard to live a bad life. Not impossible, just hard. So, but yeah, so in that same vein, that like, okay, so you live a good life, a good enough life to be frozen. Maybe instead of an afterlife, all you want is more of your current life. Like, I really like life right now. I have a good time in general. You know, like, I would say, like, if, you know, maybe at some point it would be like, you know, more of this would be great. These were the good times. I'd like this. I want reincarnation to be true. Honestly, reincarnation scares me just as much as the whole, like, what if when you shut your eyes, your brain doesn't turn off? Also, Toy Cat questions the whole of reality while playing Minecraft for fans. Also, maybe playing Minecraft. Exactly, it's a good time. But the thing that's... I'm really terrified of reincarnation. Because if it's true, nothing about you is inside the thing you're reincarnated is. That's a fact you have to accept. Like, that's not how reincarnation works. So you might say, like, okay, that's fine. Like, okay, I can accept that. I can move on from that. But it gets really scary when you think, like, okay, there's no end to your reincarnations. And because you don't know it's happening, there's nothing you can do about it. You know how I said one of my biggest fears is, like, waking up and the day not having happened? Imagine that, but it's every day of your life. And it's a whole new life each time. And you don't know it's happened. Imagine that today is the only day that's ever happened. And every time we get to the end of it, it repeats again. Like, can you imagine that? Can you even, right? Like, that is full on, that is a nightmare. That's, you know, like, the plot of Groundhog's Day is, like, kind of nice. Like, oh yeah, eventually he gets out. No, imagine Groundhog's Day where you can't get out. Imagine Groundhog's Day where you don't know you're in a thing. Like, if you don't know you're in the time loop, you'll never get out of it. You'll just exist on that same day over and over and over again. And because you didn't get out of it last time, and you don't know what happened, you won't get out of it next time. You're just trapped in that loop, and your whole, there is no existence. There is just a thing that happens again. That's called purgatory. I mean, I think purgatory is a bit more of a complex concept usually. But yeah, anyway, that's kind of crazy. Someone flips your fridge off. I want Minecraft my Half-Life, and I want Toy Cat, says Prabha. See, if you're enjoying this stream, Prabha Natarajan, then my god, you better believe that if the day repeats, you'll be getting it again and again and again, and you'll be enjoying it just as much as we enjoy this one. Like, honestly, when I think about that, like, it's too depressing to prove or disprove. But wouldn't it be kind of wild, like, if it is true that, like, every day you reset, also apparently, yeah, it's kind of like Undertale, you're right, yeah. It's a similar enough concept. But, by the way, yeah, a lot of people ask about Deltarune, right? I want to say. But, yeah, so, if you are trapped in a loop, then it's nice to at least have a good loop. Like, live this day like it's your last is always one that I thought was a bad expression. Like, no. If it's my last day, then I'm eating like 16 bags of Doritos. I'm writing a will because I don't have one yet. And, you know, I'm working all that stuff out. I would say, live this day like it's the only day, and it repeats when you die, when you go to sleep. And in that case, you know, maybe it is true. Also, do you know how to speak another language other than UK English? I can speak American English. But no, I only speak English. I know that makes me terrible. Please don't judge me too hard. Death is likened to being a deep sleep in the Bible. What do you think, Toy Cat? I mean, no one knows what death feels like, right? Even people who have supposedly died then come back to life. What actually happened is they didn't die, but someone incorrectly thought they died, or like, you know, like medically dead and dead are like slightly different terms. So it's like, okay then, we don't know what death is like, and let's just assume that like, okay, it's probably, it probably feels like not you know the time before you were born? It feels like that. It feels exactly the same. How does that feel? It doesn't feel. Feelings are a human, you know, like detaching your brain from your soul, but realizing they're connected is kind of important. Fun fact, I live in the Groundhog Day town, says King Greenie. Oh, which town is the Groundhog Day town? I'm assuming it's the one from the movie, but I don't know. Like, I don't know what town the movie was based in. But that is actually a really fun fact, King Greenie. Thank you for the fun fact. I went to school but woke up and it was actually a dream. I ended up being late for actual school. I honestly, I still have dreams about school all these years later. It's terrible. By the way, big thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate it. It's cool to see how many we get like on these live streams these days. Like, wow, crazy stream. So, what button does he press to auto-grab the Blossom inventory? It's middle mouse on PC, but it's an Xbox. You have to assign it yourself, Jack Turner. It's up on the D-pad. Super useful when you're placing so much glass so fast, I would say. Like, it just saves me so much stuff. This stream is way too deep, says Leanne. See, that's the thing. We started talking about, like, how hot a hot thing can be, and now we're on, like, the basis of death and stuff. Maybe we should, go up a level, right? Like, so, what do you guys think about cheese? I think cheese is good, because, get this right, throw cheese in the microwave, and you get melted cheese, which is also good. Put cheese on a cheese grater, you get grated cheese, also amazing. Cheese is just cheese goes with everything, and it's a versatile thing. There we go, we've taken it down a step, we're back on the casual level, no more death, let's just talk about cheese. I like cheese, says Doug, right? It'd be hard not to like cheese. Like, it's hard to imagine a world where people don't eat good cheese, or like regularly eat any form of cheese. Side note, Doug, is your picture the tail fin of an American Airlines plane? Or am I like imagining that? Based on, what even is that actually? It's like blue, white, red. It might be a French flag. It might be the Pepsi logo. I'm not even sure. How we broke on No Communist January, says Yak MN. We have not broken No Communist January just yet. It is still very much No Communist January. It's gonna be great. Cheese is pretty good. Hey, cheese is pretty good. It's okay. If your brain still works when you die, imagine what it'd be like to cremated. It would suck once, but then it's over forever, right? Like, I don't mind burning to death as long as like maybe that's a bad. I think we're going deep again. Let's calm it down with this super chat from Blake101. Achoo. Achoo! The American Airlines logo. Oh, it's their logo. I thought it was a tail fin. I didn't realize it was their whole thing. just January. Antarctica is going to be the new Wild West. It's AC epic. So yeah, here's the kind of scary thing. Antarctica is currently seen as like the common heritage of mankind. It's an area that every country owns the rights to go to, but no country is allowed to permanently settle people there, and no country is allowed to mine anything. Everything that you take to Antarctica, you have to leave with. Like, there's no... And you can't leave anything you didn't come with. That counts as mining, at least. Like, the resources in Antarctica, we're not allowed to take. And a lot of people see that and think, wow, go humanity, right? But here's the thing. Antarctica is actually Antarctica. I always say Antarctica. It's... Fun fact, there's a sea in Antarctica. And for some reason, I just say it wrong all the time. But Antarctica is a little bit more scary than that because right now, we can't really go there. It's really hard to get to Antarctica, and there's not really any value to be had from it, so that's fine. And the treaties we actually signed that said that Antarctica was the common heritage of mankind. The thing about those treaties is they didn't actually say that no country could own it. And in fact, the US and Russia both have the right to just take a bit of Antarctica if they want to, according to these treaties. And because of that, I don't think it'll be like the Wild West where like you can just decide one day, I'm gonna go settle in Antarctica. I'm gonna mine for some gold. And is that a good American accent? You like my Wild Wild West accent? See, I played it. I played Red Dead Redemption once, but yeah, no. Basically, the interesting thing about Antarctica is that at some point it's gonna be easy to go there, and at some point we have to have the question as humanity of like, should we? The world's biggest supply of fresh water, says Jack Gibson. The problem with fresh water, though, is getting it around places. I don't know if you know this, but even though oil is the most valuable... Oh, not oil. I guess it's natural gas. Natural gas is the most valuable... But second most valuable? It's one of the most valuable commodities in the world. It's a very valuable commodity, is my point. Natural gas is what Russia was kept alive on for all those years during the Soviet Union. So, even though natural gas is one of the most valuable things on the planet, you can only really get natural gas from countries nearby you. Even if America wants to buy Russia's natural gas, they literally cannot, right? I just called the accent you did. You're welcome. Thank you. It was high quality. I know. But like this Coca-Cola costs more than oil in Norway. That is a fun fact. But like, even though like natural gas is something highly valuable, America can't buy Russia's natural gas if they want to, because you need a pipeline for it. Like, proximity is really important for certain things, and water is the same as I understand it. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna put it up in big bottles? Like, if water was if water was really like so valuable, and because water is one of the most valuable things in the world, then what you do is you'd start selling it. Like, why doesn't America just sell 1 million bottles of Dasani to the Arab nations in the desert? Well, because that's not a solution. That's expensive water that also, you know, it requires shipping, it requires this. So there is a water shortage in the world. Fun fact, if you don't know, like water and sand, two of the most common things on Earth, are becoming more and more rare and sought after. And yeah, because of that, even though Antarctica has a lot of fresh water, that's great. Like, I do love me some ice, which is basically a form of water, right? Yeah, basically, even though Antarctica is covered in ice, which is frozen fresh water, getting it anywhere would take a long time. Maybe one day, like, we agree as a planet, like, okay, you can take water from Antarctica, give a cut to every country there, or like something like that. It's just kind of a thing, right? So, got to ask why you're covering the end in glass as VA7. I'm covering the end in glass because it's a fun project. I was trying to work out how to make a, you know, we got to work out like a fun, like, usual thing of like, I was trying to make an end portal frame or a end crystal. I didn't know if it was 5 glass or 5,000 though, or 55,000. So we just kind of kept placing them. You can literally go out to your local beach and steal water. Isn't that hard? So Josh Wifter, the reason it's hard to get is because getting water without salt in it is quite hard. Desalinating water is a really slow and lengthy process. And usually we do it for the salt, not the water. So even though in some of the Arab nations they desalinate water, it's expensive and it's slow. That's what they do in Malta too. They have desalination plants where they get rid of the salt from water. But it's much better to just have a natural supply of fresh water somewhere. So Singapore, for instance, they just use Malaysia's water. They're an island. They don't have fresh water reserves. They just borrow it from Malaysia. So a lot of countries have water shortages. It's a real issue. How many times has your inventory run out, says Tommy Dancer. More than you would probably figure. I think we're like 10,000 blocks in or so. I mean, it's good. It's also a little bit like, man, this is a big project. You don't even realize, but it's a big project. Are you going to try the new story feature on YouTube, says Sniper Games OP? Honestly, I hate the concept of stories, like limited time things about stuff. It's just not my... I don't like stories, so I never do things. Also, I drink salt, but not water, says Electro Plays. Hey, something about video games equals salty. Well, at what point, by the way? Why is it that at some point we just decided that salty meant, like, bitter? Because, like, I mean, salt isn't even really that bitter. Salt is one of the finest condiments on earth. Like, if you're mad at a video game, you shouldn't be salty. You should be like, I don't know. What's... like, dirty, you should... Oh, wait, actually, dirty. That already has a thing. I wonder if dirty comes from the word dirt. I guess it does. Huh, interesting. But, like, that... I don't know. It's one of those things that always, like, upsets me. Like, people are like, oh, you're so salty. And it's like, but I mean... like, salt's a good thing. Like, a good salty pizza would be a tasty pizza, you know? Like, you want... a pizza without salt, any meal without salt, would be a pretty sad meal. My cat looks a lot like the Toy Cat logo, says Ace Epic. It basically does, you're right, actually. You must have a big super smelter. It's actually a pretty small super smelter. I probably should make a big super smelter. But at present, I do not have one. That's the only time that someone's read my comment on a stream, says Tommy Dancer. Yeah, a lot of people like that we, I try to interact with stream chat a lot here. Like, sometimes it's fun to, you know, just talk about things off the record or whatever. But it's also fun to respond to stream chat. So, hope you like that. Can you beat Minecraft on your wood tools? Yes, you can. It's so doable that I don't want to make a video on it. I'm currently wearing a Samsung Galaxy Watch for no reason except because I wanted to. Here's the problem with, like, smart devices, smartwatches, is that the primary purpose of a watch is defeated by a phone. So a smartwatch is just trying to be like, hey, what if there was a phone but on your wrist? And it's like, oh, but we already have phones in our pockets. And smartwatches don't work without those phones in your pocket. So it's like, what if your phone was also on your wrist? And it's like, that'd be cool. So, and then it's like, oh, but what if we had a tiny screen and could only run some apps, and you missed the block. Oh no, no way, no. It can't be true. Have you heard of the Flying Horseman? Is that a ship, or is that a train in the UK? Like, the Flying Dutchman is, I think, the SpongeBob ship, right? So, the Flying Horseman is a star? I'm not even sure. What if everyone suddenly died and came back to life 5 seconds later? I guess we'd lose 5 seconds. I wonder, would anyone spot that? Maybe they would. Also, Prabha Natarajan says, what is your favorite airline? So, of all the airlines I've flown so far, there's a few airlines I really want to fly, so maybe this will change. But Qatar Airways, or Qatar Air, if you want to be Arabic about these things, they're just a really, really solid airline. Like, it's just an amazing experience. Even in economy, you're like, oh, they give you 2 meals with a little Kit Kat snack with, like... Yeah, I had a good time on Qatar, even in economy. In business, they have the best business class in the world. And it's kind of nuts that way. Trying to run a fascist server as a Minecraft dictator. The Flying Dutchman is from Pirates of the Caribbean. It's probably from SpongeBob too. Maybe I'm wrong about that, actually. I guess it probably is, like, a famous ship that's from a lot of things. I know this came up in my Pirates of the Caribbean stream, where we streamed the Minecraft map of it. So that's kind of interesting. Are you interested in the SCP universe? I'll Google SCP universe. SCP... Oh, man, I am... The SCP universe is a fictional organization, based... What is that? I have no clue what that is, but I am interested. I just can't research on a stream because I'm busy. You know, I don't know if you knew this, but I'm actually, covering my glass in End. covering my end in glass. The problem with these streams is when they run too late, when I talk too much, I kind of run out of, like, social space in my brain. Maybe that's a thing. When you are out of ideas, says Flavioka. It's always upset me when people say, like, when you're out of ideas, like, you know, like, oh, it's okay, you're out of ideas. Because it's like, no, you mean you're out of good ideas. This is an idea. You might argue it's the worst idea you've ever heard of. But it's definitely an idea. You missed an edge block, says Sophia Schleicher. Ah, that's scary stuff. I've flown Qantas, Singapore, UAE, British Virgin, and Fiji Airways. I'm on a like goal to like slowly fly as many airlines in the world as I can. Because it is interesting just how much can be different sometimes. Like, there's just so many different standards where like, every airline sometimes tries to be the same and sometimes tries to be different. It's kind of a weird thing. So yeah, you should try and run a Minecraft server like a German ruler dictator. Whichever you prefer. I definitely am going to do something fun soon. On the Minecraft server thing front. Don't worry, you can expect to see that somewhat soon. Have you ever flown a plane, says BGTS12? I haven't flown a plane yet. I think it'd be interesting to try one day. But it's like prohibitively expensive. And I like the idea of taking off, etc. But what I mostly like about flying is it's like the fastest form of travel. It's like fast travel, but for the real world, you know? Like, do you want to go from here to the other side of the world that literally took months until like 80 years ago? Do you want to do that in less than 24 hours? Guess what? You can take a plane to Australia. Kind of cool, right? Also, thank you, Momi123, for the £1.22 super chat. I really appreciate it. I'm going to quickly take a break, have some water. When you're thirsty, water is so good. Like, I wish there was a pill you could take, or like a thing you could take that would make you feel thirsty, so that every time I drank water, it tasted that good. I wouldn't do anything else. Side note, thank you very much, Christian Ingvar Kjølsvik, for the 20 Norwegian krone super chat. Can you list all the EU countries you haven't visited? So I went to Malta a couple of weeks ago, and now there's only a few EU countries left that I've yet to visit. So Romania, that's like coming up soon. Hungary, Latvia, and Portugal. I think that's all of them. I think that is genuinely all of them. Oh, Croatia technically is an EU member too. So yeah, after I've gone to those 5, I believe I've seen every EU member, as well as all of the EEA states. I've been to Liechtenstein, Iceland, Switzerland, and the other one. I always forget it. Norway, that's the one. Hey, the place that you're from. Salt makes you thirsty. See, that's, like I said, salt is an amazing thing. Not only does salt make food taste good, also makes you thirsty, which, like I said, when you're thirsty and drink water, that's amazing. By the way, is there a reason you're doing this, or is it another challenge to you? Yeah, this is another challenge that we're, like, slowly embarking upon to, you know, obviously, cover the end in glass. At first, I thought it was just, like, that would look cool. But now I'm starting to realize that, like, oh yeah, no Enderman will spawn there. Also, replays your life in slow motion, so you basically should relive a life over and over again. My thoughts to back this up, says Hitman. Thank you very much for the £2 donation via the link in the description, Mr. Hitman. Always appreciate it when people do it there. But, would it be crazy if your life did replay when you died? And I think this is one of those beliefs that's like a good thing to believe. I think if you die and, you know, you get to relive your life, it just encourages you to live a good life. Like, there's so many moments I wish I could relive, and there's moments I wish I couldn't. It'd be better if I focused on having moments that I could. Also, Toy Cat, you've been to Lithuania and Estonia? That's cool. Yeah, Estonia is one of my favorite, like, small European countries. I had a really good time when I went there. Like, I don't know if I'd want to go again, as in I really love Thailand. I just don't know. I haven't felt drawn to go back there yet, because it's like on the other side of Europe. Lithuania, I had an interesting time in Kaunas and in Vilnius. I really just went there for a couple of days just to like relax the brain, and it did a good job of that. So I have been to both those countries. So if you go back to any age, what would it be and why, says Jacob Ortiz. Do you mean like any age of my life, or like any age, like, if you could go back to the Bronze Age, would you do that? Because that could be interesting. Our water is infused with uranium. No joke. I mean, uranium's only bad if you take a certain amount of it. It's like rat poison. You can eat as much as you like. Also, see you in a minute. Literature plays. Pronounces it wrong. What did I pronounce wrong? Uranium or Estonia? Lithuania? Tallinn? I'm not even sure. The EU? Delicate A? What am I getting wrong now? So any age of your life. So, the thing is that I feel like if I could go back to when I was young, I could probably live my life a lot better. Like, the obvious answer is, like, go back to the earliest stage you have any freedom. Like, I go back to when I was 13, and I'd make a lot of money picking tech stocks. I mean, not that I had money to invest in stocks at 13, but, like, yeah, if I went back to when I was 13, I'd have a solid time, and I'd be super smart if I had my memories too, so I'd probably do that. It's like rat poison, eat as much as you like. that is, did I say that one? Okay, you know, let me correct myself. It's like rat poison, you can eat some and not die. You get like a tolerance to it, probably. I mean, radioactive materials are just bad. I'd prefer you didn't eat them. But if you do, it's not so bad. So, will you ever go to Ohio? It's on the list of states that I haven't been to. But I don't know for sure how that will go down. The problem with America is there's no easy way to get around it internally. Like, it sucks to fly internally in America. Railways take forever, and I don't drive. So, it'd have to be like a duo-person road trip. Like, if self-driving cars ever came, I'd love to do, like, a self-driving trip around America. Like, sleep in the back, wake up in a new city every day. But as it currently is, no. Have you ever been to Texas? It's like next on my, if I pick a state I'm going to. It's Washington or it's Texas next. Don't know which one. We'll find out. So, we got a lot of like, will you ever go to here questions. So I'll answer this one instead. Everyone says when you get close to death, you see your light flash before your eyes, and your brain is active for 2 minutes. I mean, it's a nice thing to believe, right? Like, I would like it if that was true. Also, thank you, Matt, for the £1.58 super chat. So what if your brain replays your life over and over again? Mind death. Well, here's the thing. We don't know what happens in the moment where a brain goes from being alive to not being alive. Who's to say that it doesn't permanently trap your consciousness on, like, a loop? Like, your consciousness isn't affected by time. You know, okay, think of it this way, right? When you're in a really bad situation, a minute feels like an hour. When you're waiting for something to happen, you're just doing nothing, every minute is painful. It takes forever. Whereas when you're doing something you love, it just flies past you, right? Your brain can basically control your perception of time. How is this happening, by the way? Can I kill him? Oh, I can. This is useful, probably. That's kind of cool. This is really, really bizarre, by the way. I'm just, like, storing Enderman now. We'll deal with this as we get to it. So, just because I think it's fun to look at, this is what my end looks like so far. It's a nice look so far. I'm liking the appearance. So, if you bought Mojang, what changes would you make to Minecraft? So, saying it like this, I want to know. Honestly, I would just, like, focus on some big survival stuff. That's what I personally think is cool about the game. And also, I would put, I think I'd discontinue a few older versions of Minecraft. Like, you know, let's up the requirements. Let's make this game, like, work better or whatever. Oh, I've got to take my shulker boxes with me. I have to go back to the end now. Which is going to be a whole thing. Let's go do this. There is a brain game episode on the time thing. But yeah, so, like, if your brain can control time, who's to say your brain doesn't lock your conscious on, like, a time loop where the last 1 second of your life takes you 16 trillion years, you know? Like, because that's the only way your conscious can survive. Who's to say that doesn't happen? And it's like, oh, that's scary. It's like, you know, computers don't have any sense of time. if you torture a computer, a minute can feel like an eternity, and an eternity can feel like a minute. So, yeah, my point of that was just, life be scary, right? Life be scary. So, yeah, now that we've done a fair amount of this, I think I'm going to take this as a good opportunity to say thank you very much for watching today's live stream. If you did like this one, you can like it and let me know, because it helps out the channel a lot. Lets know you do like these live streams. You can share this if you really liked it, and you can subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel. And if you want to see the live streams and/or you want to see the video, because the reason I've been doing all of this, it's been part of a big... Oh, we got some beef in here. This has all been part of a big series challenge that I've been working on. It's like one of my big next projects. If you want to see more about that project, make sure you subscribe, because again, lots of big things coming in the next like month or so. I've got a video about bad Minecraft merch. Got a video about this whole thing, 55,000 blocks of glass. And also, we got the next run of Minecraft, which I think I'm going to start tomorrow, maybe Saturday. We'll see. Anyway, oh, one last thing. Sorry, I know I like to use live streams as like a, hey, here's a thing you might want to know about. I'm actually doing a Q&A on Saturday, like I do most weeks. But this Q&A, I'm picking from Reddit questions. So reddit.com/r/IBXToyCat. If you want to ask a question and have the answer be in Q&A Saturday, then reddit.com/r/IBXToyCat. It's like the top thread right now. Go leave a question if you want me to read it. If you don't want me to read it, then don't leave a question, and then I won't be able to read it, because that's how that one works. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.